that Sterling said was like, because with UFC it's a one-on-one fighting game. It's meant to be balanced,
Right.
and he put up a thing like, imagine you played Street Fighter with two Chun-Lis fighting each other, and then one of the Chun-Lis had paid for a loot box that made her spinning bird kick hit harder than yours.
Right.
Imagine now if just a regular punch did that for that Chun-Li. That is horrendous. And then he immediately put up a big Capcom logo and was like, Capcom, if you listen to this, please don't do this.
Yeah, I think the thing that was an interesting point from him that I thought was good was, we usually don't hear about this stuff because they're sports games, and the rest of the gaming market are so far removed from each other that we usually don't hear about the total BS that's going on one side or the other.
Yeah, it's a completely different fucking audience, generally speaking. Like,
hey,
I'm
T-Bob
a rare
Bugs.
bird that crosses over. Hey, T-Bob.
So, I started watching BoJack Horseman this week.
Oh yeah.
That's a way bigger bummer of a show than I had thought.
Really?
Have you started watching it?
No, it's one of those things like I should probably watch that. Just nope. Never get around to it.
The first half of the first season, it's only like 10 episodes, is a little bit rough, but man, it really hits its stride halfway through, and I'm about halfway through season 3, because each season is like 10 or 11 episodes, and they're only 25 minutes, so it's a pretty fast watch. And man, that show is a bummer. Like, in a really great way. Like, Will Arnett is so good as BoJack, because he's playing it a little bit differently, and he gets to stretch his acting chops a little bit more. But man, it's like, I can recommend it and also say, but it's a real fucking bummer. And it's good because of it, but if you're already in a down mood,
So, not for Moon.
yeah,
not for
don't
Moon right now
pop
in the
on
slightest.
BoJack and be like, all right, then let's watch a cartoon. Aw.
I'm not gonna lie, like the past few days I've been thinking about going back and watching all of Parks and Rec again from season 2. Because that show has its down moments, but generally speaking, that's such an uplifting show.
You should watch Orville. Nothing sad about that show.
Are you sure?
No, yeah.
I might watch it then. We'll see.
Orville's good. I just want people to watch the Orville because I feel like they're not going to, because Seth MacFarlane is associated with it. And I feel like for some reason there's this black mark on him.
Yeah, you two singing his praises has got me really interested in it.
Yeah. Also, I feel like most people don't realize he doesn't really work on Family Guy anymore. So they like want to attribute modern Family Guy to him. It's like, no, he just does the voices for a bunch of stuff. When American Dad started getting good, that's when he switched his focus. Man,
Yeah.
American Dad is a show I wish people would watch.
Oh, we give it a chance, really.
That show is legitimately really good, and I think people see it as like Family Guy Jr., and it's really not.
Oh, same thing with the Cleveland Show. The Cleveland Show was funny right off the rip.
Yeah, they hit Cleveland Show. They hit the ground running on that one. That was good. American Dad took a little bit to get there. But
American Dad took about 3 seasons to get funny.
yeah,
I'm
It had
surprised they give that show that much leash.
I feel like American Dad was Fox really giving him a lot of credit, saying like, look, if you keep making, it almost
If you keep making Family Guy funny, you can continue to make this show.
yeah, it's like any large star that wants to do an indie film. It's like, okay, cool, you got to be Batman for a year, and then you can go make your wine movie. It's like, you keep making Family Guy, you make American Dad as long as you want, buddy.
Well, kind of happened with whatchamacallit, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
I mean, if Batman opened a lot of doors for that dude.
yeah. Did he make The Prestige?
I think so, or I think he was associated with it.
Let's look it up. I love that movie, and I really want to watch it again, but it's so fucking long.
But that payoff is so good.
Yeah.
No
He
spoilers,
did direct
please.
it.
What?
No spoilers, please.
You can't really spoil that movie. Don't worry. It's how long is it? It is not on Wikipedia. 130 minutes. It is 130 minutes of non-spoiled time.
Yeah, I don't think it's wasted. I don't think that movie is a moment that's wasted. Whereas the sister movie that came out about the same time, The Illusionist,
yeah,
that just seemed to drag out.
The Prestige reminds me a lot of what was that M. Night Shyamalan movie with
Lady in the Water?
No, the one he just came out
The Village?
with. No, the James
Split,
yeah. Split is one of the few movies I've watched where, like, you can't clip a second out of that movie. Like, every they
if anything, it's
wrung
too short.
so much out of that.
I think it's too short.
Yeah, I sort of wish the ending was a little bit more fleshed out, but man, 2017's been a good year.
Yeah, it's the rule of sevens again. 07, 97, 2017.
Yeah.
I cannot wait till 2027.
I can't, because you're going to be fucking $40 trillion in debt in this fucking country by then.
Yeah, but
True.
movies are going to be great.
Yeah,
There's
video
not going
games
to
will
be anyone
amazing.
to watch the movies. We
Only
won't be
the
able
robots.
to afford it.
To be honest, if the whole planet is not a nuclear wasteland by then, I'll be happy.
The Doombots will be happy with the Avengers 15.
Yeah. Starring Captain America, Super
Captain
Robot.
America bot.
The only person to be able to watch Avengers movies is Ultron.
See, look, I won at the end. Just look around.
Man, that fucking trailer looks hot.
Fuck me. And
That's unbelievable.
I can't talk about this in front of Jess because she's immediately on media blackout for it. But I watch one trailer then go on blackout. I saw this one, and Jess's favorite character being good old Cap himself. I know she's gonna absolutely adore bearded Cap in this.
Yeah.
Because she's got a thing for beards as well.
I'm jealous
so,
of his hair.
Yeah.
It's floating in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I ran across it on, I don't remember where, and I hadn't originally intended to watch it because I'm like, well, I'm not avoiding it, but I'll watch the movie when it comes out on Blu-ray. And it started playing, and like the voiceover at the beginning was like that very first line. I was like, "Oh, hello."
Yes.
What am I watching? Oh, hi. And 2.5 minutes later, I was like, yeah, shit, I still want to see that movie. All right, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Have you caught up in all the movies?
No, I haven't seen. The next one I need to watch is Guardians 2. So
Have
I'm
you seen
like,
Doctor Strange?
yeah, I like Doctor Strange a lot, and I feel like that and like the Thor: The Dark World are like those are the Dark Horse movies that I like. Everyone's like, for some reason, everyone hates Thor: The Dark World, even though it's really good.
I love Thor: Dark World.
And I feel like Doctor Strange is going to be the forgotten Marvel movie where it's like, oh yeah, they came out. Yeah, he did have his own movie. Yeah, right.
I thought I wish Tilda Swinton was in that movie in every fucking scene.
Mm-hmm.
She
I wish
stole every moment she was in.
Yeah.
I fucking wish she was in every movie because she's just such a great fucking performer. Everything I've ever seen her in, she's incredible.
Yeah.
As Gabriel in Constantine, she is unbelievably good.
I stumbled across the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe the other day.
She's
and
good in
I
that
forgot
too.
Tilda Swinton was the ice queen or
Just
whatever.
fucking menacing.
Fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think I'm, 2 behind? Because Thor Ragnarok and Guardians 2, I think, are the only two.
Yes, I believe
Yeah.
so.
I'm curious what you think of Guardians 2.
I want to know what Boston thinks of Thor Ragnarok.
I'm excited for more Thor stuff.
It's impossible. You cannot. I don't know how anyone could hate that movie.
I
Also,
loved it.
like, what's his butt? Guy from Jurassic Park being in it.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. Jeff
Well,
Goldblum,
Jeff
Goldbluming it
Goldblum
up.
literally steals every scene he's in.
I'm so excited.
Yep.
Oh, here, take this. Oh, it's on my shoes. Melty stick.
Yeah, I'm I'm pretty excited for. It's so funny because I know people want to make fun of, dudes being really excited for Marvel movies, but they're all really good. So shut up.
Well, no, it's the back to the whole Marvel versus DC void that's happening right now. Like those two set franchise or series cannot be any further apart from each other.
Well, Justice League.
Something that amazes me is like I listened to a podcast that's got a DC fan on it, and he's like, yeah, DC did the same amount of movies leading up to Justice League that Marvel did. It's like,
were they secret like direct to video movies? Like what?
No, like he's claiming that DC did the same amount of movies for Justice League that Marvel did to the Avengers, and it's like, no, not really. They did what, 3 movies so far?
All right. Well,
he might be right, but I mean,
so the unofficial start to DC is Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman,
Wonder Woman. That's 3,
and then Justice League.
Yeah. Whereas Marvel was
you have Iron Man,
Incredible Hulk, the Hulk, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man.
Yeah. That one's a bit of a misnomer. I don't really find that canon other than Thunderbolt Ross. That's the only takeaway out of that.
And Tony Stark's in the Incredible Hulk.
He's what, the end credit scene?
Yes. That's how the Marvel movies worked for the longest time.
How does it start? All right. I'm sure they were trying to tie that in with Iron Man or whatever, but I don't consider that a start. I think Iron Man 1's really where the first one they got right.
Yeah.
So you had Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Incredible. You count the Incredible Hulk, that's 4, and then Avengers is 5 movies.
Yeah. Well, and what was the first Superman movie?
The Man of Steel one.
Steel?
Superman Returns.
Superman Returns. That's everyone forgets.
Yeah.
Okay. That's before?
That's Brandon Roush.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought there were 2 Superman movies with this current one, but maybe I'm just thinking of Batman versus Superman.
There is 2.
Superman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought it was Man of Steel and then something else, but I forgot about Brandon Roush.
Which is funny because technically that's Justice League Light.
Yeah.
Is Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should have been like the mid boss to Justice League being the end boss.
Here's what I don't understand why DC is in such a hurry. Take your fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are going to go see these characters regardless of the quality of the movie. Why not give them a good movie?
Yeah, like when I was watching, I saw some commercial on TV and showed like Aquaman and Wonder Woman and Batman and then the other dude, and I was like, wait, who's that supposed to... Oh, is that Cyborg? Yeah. I was like, what the hell did they do to you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Cyborg had maybe a 10-second bit of screen time showing his creation in some video file.
Oh.
In whatchamacallit. In Batman vs Superman, and a little bit of Aquaman, and a little bit of The Flash. You're like, okay.
Yep.
So, unless those 6 things count as other movies, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing to me is, like, I saw the trailer for Justice League, and I'm just like, the only part of that I'm really interested in is Wonder Woman, because her movie was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Whereas...
That bar's real low.
I know it is, but that's what I'm saying. That's how little interest I have in the Justice League movie. Whereas you show me the trailer for fucking Avengers, and I was pumped from the very first step. And now they've taken it to a whole nother level with the new Avengers movie, with the Infinity War.
I just love watching that trailer, and I was like, oh, he's in it. Oh, right, they're all in it. Gotcha.
Yes.
Right. There's like 50 of them.
Who are you guys?
Yeah.
It's going to be... I really hope it... I hope it ends... I got my own hopes on how I want to see it end, but...
I hope a whole bunch of motherfuckers die.
Yeah.
I hope half of them die.
You know what I hope? Is I hope half of them die, and then the very next movie starts laying the groundwork for the... Was it the Skrull?
Yeah.
For that
the Super
stuff.
Skrull.
Yeah.
To be honest,
they can't. I don't think they have the rights to the Skrulls.
No, they don't, because they're Fantastic Four universe, technically speaking.
That's
and
why.
Sony.
Is that Sony? I thought it was Fox owns them.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I think
So
Fox
anyway,
owns all
so
that.
Disney's trying to buy Fox to get the rest of the characters.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome. But
They've
no,
got the fucking clout
here's how
for
I
it.
hope. Here's how I hope it goes down. So he gets all the Infinity Stones by the end of the movie.
Mhm.
Then he finally meets Death, and Death asks him to kill half of the universe. And then he snaps his finger. Then he snaps his fingers. Credits.
Out
You'd
of
get your House of
curiosity-
M moment.
Mhm. Out of curiosity, do you think Hela is going to be Death?
No.
Do you think they're going to introduce somebody else for Death?
I think
it
it's going
would
to
be.
put Tilda
It's gonna be
Swinton in a robe.
It's going to be Tilda Swinton's skeleton from the ancient one. No, it's going to be Mistress Death. She's going to be cloaked, and she's either going to have like a really pretty woman's face, or she's going to be like a skull.
Yeah, that would be really good. Is this movie still 2 parts, or did they do away with that?
It's still
two.
2 parts, but the parts have different. It's not part 1, part 2 anymore.
Oh, okay. I remember them making a change, and I expected the end of the trailer to be like Infinity War Part 1, but they named the next one something different.
Well, I mean, essentially the whole Infinity Gauntlet thing has 3 story arcs leading up to, because you have Thanos' Quest, which I think they're kind of morphing this into more Thanos' Quest and Infinity Crusade.
Mm.
And then you have, and Infinity War actually takes place after the Infinity Gauntlet, but
Right.
I don't know. Like that's my one wish is I want to see him snap his fingers and people just drop.
Yep.
Cap's got to be gone. Like Chris Evans, he's made it perfectly clear how unhappy he is. He's flipped backwards and forwards so many times.
I'm sorry, the dude must hate money. Whatever.
I mean,
I do not feel bad for this dude at all.
It has to be really hard work being in an action movie, but like, you're Captain Friggin' America. Like, I would kill for an opportunity to be jacked and beat up Iron Man. Be like,
here's the thing: like, he was able to pull off a character I never thought would be viable, ever.
Same.
Yep.
I never thought that character would be a thing.
I mean, I know they've got the guy who plays Bucky signed on for like another 9 movies. I don't know what Cap's current contract situation is. Like, I don't know what Evans' contract, but I know
they already have 2 backups. They got that Mansell can either go to Bucky or can go to the Falcon.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I
Yep.
saw Falcon in the trailer. I was like, oh yeah, he's still here. I remember you from Ant-Man.
Where's Hawkeye when you need him?
Yeah.
He surprisingly wasn't it. Which I think, man, Jeremy Renner was kind of wasted.
I'd love to see a Hawkeye like miniseries on Netflix, like like that comic, the Hawkeye comic that came out. Like I'd have that where it's like just side story, him doing some fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he can't do that because he's already established in this canon with the family.
Yeah, damn, that's true. I like who they got to play his wife though. I don't see her in enough stuff.
I don't know. Who
I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I never remember her name. But
oh man, it's gonna be. Fuck!
When does
I
that
can't
come out? February?
May.
Damn.
What? That's quick. I didn't think we were gonna see that movie till like November next year.
Yeah.
Well, they do 2 a year, so what the hell is the second one they've got next year? Or is that Black Panther?
Black Panther's coming out. I think
Summer,
in February. It's coming out before Infinity War.
Let's look. Black Panther. Nope. I want the film.
I think that comes out in February.
Black Panther film. It comes out in February 16th. Yep. Boy, I have a feeling that's going to be really good.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that, and that looks great as well.
Then does an Ant-Man come out this year too? Like towards the back
forgot
half?
about that. Ant-Man and Wasp?
Yep.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. That comes out in July 6th.
What?
What the heck?
That's no way.
All right, let's just open up the Marvel Cinematic Universe wiki page.
Yeah, they've been so good about 2 movies a year. It feels like they're doing something wrong by doing 3 that quickly.
Sure, there's always been about 3.
I'm sure it's only 2, isn't it?
Mm.
All right, so we have this year's Black Panther, Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp. March of next year is Captain Marvel.
Wait, next year as in 2019?
Yeah, so I'm already in 2018 by this point. And then an Avengers movie, May 2019.
Okay. What came out this year and last year?
2017 had Guardians 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Thor Ragnarok. Oh, sorry.
Spider-Man doesn't count.
How does Spider-Man not count?
Spider-Man Homecoming sequel comes out in 2019 as well. So that's 3 movies. Man. What TV shows come out?
Punisher
Runaways
just came out, which I need to watch.
Cloak and Dagger comes out next year. New Warriors.
I'm actually kind of surprised, excited for whatchamacallit, for Cloak and Dagger.
I'm excited to see how they do that. That could be pretty cool.
You know, The Humans wasn't unwatchable.
Yeah, I have to.
They just used more of a sitcom-y formula. But I'm stoked after that 2-hour premiere of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Holy shit, is that great.
Oh, I need to catch up with that. I need to catch up so bad.
Holy shit.
Is that on Netflix?
Yes, it is. That's how I've been watching it.
Is it still on Netflix? I feel like that's the more important question. Cool, so it searched and didn't do anything. Agents does not have an F in it. Agents. Yeah, it looks like they have 4 seasons. Alright. Okay. Alright. You guys ready to start this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've recapped the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Once that show gets past its Monster of the Week formula, it gets awesome.
Yeah. I gotta pick it up.
I still love Monster of the Week. I can't help it. Supernatural has trained me to love that shit.
Shows can do both.
Yep.
You know, there's nothing wrong with it. Alright. You guys ready?
Yes.
Hey there, Jimbo Jangles.
Oh, yo, so I forgot to tell you this. All right, more story time, I guess. So the Vive apparently was attempted delivered here on Friday.
Oh.
Thanks, FedEx. Let me know it's coming 3 days early.
I'm on the other side of the spectrum where my RAM got lost in Kentucky for a couple of days and now is allegedly on its way, but I can't track it anymore. So it will show up at some point.
Well, that, and I can't go pick it up at the FedEx location either. It needs to be delivered here and signed for here.
Great.
Awesome, right?
Sounds like my ex when I got that.
So that, what else? Oh yeah, today I had an environmental disaster in my driveway.
Uh-oh.
Apparently my oil pan, oil catcher could not hold the volume of oil that came out of my truck.
Well, that's unexpected.
So I'm over there and I'm tearing my garage apart looking for my big, like, grippy thing to get the oil filter, the oil filter off, which is a handle, like, tightens down and you turn it over. So number one, the handle on that thing is way too fucking long, and it took me, I don't know, 45 minutes to find it in my garage. I'm literally throwing tools and boxes and stuff everywhere, trying to find it. Then I go over to the truck, and there's an oil slick running down my driveway, and I'm like,
oh no. That's what we're doing today.
Concrete or asphalt?
Well, it's concrete. So it'll be a nice stain for a while. It'll eventually, the rain, or at least it's to the winter. The winter will take it off pretty quickly. But yeah, so that was fun. And then I think all my the left side or the passenger side of my engine, all the plugs, I think the plug seals are bad now because every one of those coil packs were all just full of oil, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
Oh god.
I pulled one plug out, it was almost 100% fouled out. Like, this thing's not getting any spark.
Jesus.
Yeah. Hopefully it makes it into work tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll see.
If not, you can stay home and sign for the package.
Just gonna go into the shop here, fucking fix it.
Yeah. Man.
What's wrong with it? I don't know. Shit's fucked.
I don't know. Find it. Find it and fix it.
There was a mechanic supposed to come over today. Guess who didn't show up? Oh. All right.
All right, you guys ready to start this thing?
Yep.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Going around the room, we have Knobs.
What's up?
And Moonpeer.
Hello.
Piece of news here to start off with. Don't forget to get your vote in for your community game of the year pick. 1 week left to do that before we record the game of the year episode, which I totally need to finish my list.
Me too.
And 2 weeks to get your predictions in. So you can, if you haven't filled those out and you're looking for them, patreon.com/E1M1. You don't need to be a patron to go see the links, but go fill them out. Your vote matters. The race is close for Game of the Year, so go make your voice heard. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's start off with Knobs. What have you been playing?
Alrighty, so we had a little retro Monday night game night. Again, we played some Gears 4 Horde mode. Getting our sea legs back, and I think I was a sniper that night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really remember, because normally I get stuck being the engineer anymore, because I just build things at a ridiculous pace.
I mean, you fit into a good role, and people just say, like, hey, you want to be an engineer?
I do, but I kind of think I ruined that game for everybody.
Yeah.
Just for the sheer fact that my minions will kill anything faster than you.
That's true. You're a Pierre army.
Yeah. I had a couple of them on when we played on. I think it was Friday night. We played like 2 or 3 times last week. First one we ended up on. We played hardcore. Get our footing back, where we played the farmhouse, which has a new variant where it actually has one of those solar storms blowing through, so there's lightning strikes and whatnot coming down.
Cool.
We ended up beating that one on hardcore, and then we ended up playing on Insane another night, and we played a variant of the Forge where there's no shelter at all.
Oh, wow.
So we were way spread out, and the helicopters just kept destroying us. And that night, I was stuck as... Now, that was the night I played the sniper. So I was stuck as a sniper. I turn around, everybody's dead, and here comes a carrier around the corner.
Oh.
So luckily, they did enough damage to him that I was able to put the carrier down and kill the 2 sentinels floating around in the match. I was like, guys, never put me in this position again, because I about had a heart attack.
Yeah, jeez.
Funny thing, because they did it to me again on Friday night, where everyone died, where I was stuck on a turret, and I had 15 people left to kill.
Jeez.
And I was the engineer. I had no bonuses. All my minions were wrecked, and we were playing on Insane on like Raven Cliff. It was another map we've never seen before. Why not? Let's do it on Insane.
Yeah.
But it took us. We ended up to the point where when a carrier would spawn, we would suicide out into the map, because there's no way any of our fortifications would have survived long enough or for the entire match if we had let that thing and battled it in, because it was spawning so close to us. We had no chance to do it. But on wave 50, he spawned way in the out left, so we can kind of pick him off his whole way to us. By the time he got to us, he was dead.
Nice.
So we're peeling out 50 waves, and I'm about to gen out for a 4th or 5th time on Gears Horde mode.
Wow.
So that game is still, and it looks unbelievable at 60 frames with full-on HDR.
Yeah.
Like, it is glorious. And that game's still fun.
That's a good bonus.
Well, yeah, I mean, now all the cards go up to level 6, so now you're not wasting, you're just not scrapping everything. It should feel like you're building your way back up to stuff. Still, the only character I think let's see, I got, yeah, my soldiers at 10, my engineers at 10, my heavies at 10. So I think that just leaves me with the scout and sniper that I don't have level 10, and my scout's still level 1.
Oh, jeez.
I wonder who did all the scouting previously.
Well, it was you, but
Yeah.
now Donnie's picking up that mantle. I got him out in the corner shaking his leg for the money. So I make sure he's on point, because now he's obsessed with doing executions, and he just keeps talking up. He's like, Here comes first guy out this barn. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. And all of a sudden you just hear him yelling and run across the mat, and he misses.
Every time.
50% of the time he misses.
Yep. I've got some great clips of that game where it's just Donnie running through hordes of enemies with his bayonet out, and he just misses everybody.
Yeah, I did save a clip, and I think I tweeted it out. A clip of like how devastating the automated turrets are, the sentries in that game. Where there I am just dancing around, just reloading everything, and then it just turns, and all of a sudden something creeps around the corner and like it lights the screen on fire. It's bananas. Especially once you get those the shock turrets or shock sentries up to level 4, their range is just stupid.
Jeez.
It really takes a lot of fun out of it, but. It's frustrating playing as engineer because literally you don't get a chance to shoot at anything, but yet you're ruling in kills every time.
Yeah, and like everybody's reaping the benefits. So
that last horde run on Insane, I'd killed 800 enemies.
Jeez.
Just my kill count alone. So yeah, I mean I'm peeling 20, 25 around.
Yeah. Just
with automatic guns, and then just obviously spending all this time reloading everything. Let me see. We had a couple tournaments over the last week. We finished our turkey bowl. I think Scott won that one, and then Scott won the next. Yeah, the golf club too. Our 2-player tournaments now, since no one wants to play that game anymore apparently. Yeah, so we're still hyper competitive. That last course, the course Urubu Falls or something, was a really, really good challenging course. Like it just, and the one we're playing at now, and I can't remember quite the name of it, but it's got some really good layout, like really good golf course design work in it. So I'm still enjoying the hell out of that game. It's challenging in all the right ways. Let me see. Finished Fractured But Whole.
Ah.
Oh my god. This game's everything a South Park game has to be.
Yeah.
I don't know what they have in mind. I hope they continue to make these, because they are fantastic. Essentially, you are in a 25, 26 hour long South Park episode.
I think both of them have sold pretty well, so I'd be surprised if they don't at least try to make a third one.
Yeah.
The only thing that I can think of, and the way it references the previous game, does it just brilliantly.
Oh, nice.
So there's some time travel shenanigans that go on, and the ending was just priceless. I just love Kyle's reaction to Cartman's BS. Constantly just call like, oh come on,
yeah,
like constantly. It is great. But yeah, and the secret boss literally rolled me twice, and I don't think I'm gonna beat him.
Nice. What was the secret boss in the first one? Wasn't that Al Gore?
Yeah, he was one of them.
Okay.
You didn't have to fight him, but is Mr. Hand and Mr. Garrison dead in the South Park universe?
I do not know.
I thought Mr. Hand was, but I think Mr. Garrison is alive. I haven't seen anything in the last couple years.
He did not make any cameos in this game, which I was disappointed.
Oh, that's weird.
Like, I understand why Chef isn't there.
Yeah.
But no, Jesus, Kenny's character might be the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
It really is awesome. All the characters were great. Those little portraits you were finding had me in stitches. Like, I cannot believe this. And then that becomes their super, where it's just Craig and Tweak holding hands, and then it pops into this anime thing. It's just.
That's
and their
really good.
clothes explode off of them. Like, what is going on?
That's pretty good.
It never, like, it got to the point where I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this.
Right.
No, Jimbo, I did not beat the secret boss because he is a tough one, especially when he's spawning little versions of himself. So I don't want to spoil who it is until I don't know. Are either one of you guys going to play this?
Yes. I got to give props to Jimbo Jangles. He sent me a copy of this. He said, "Oh, you got a present coming your way," and I open it, and it's South Park. So I will be playing it.
I think you're gonna love it.
Yeah,
because it's a solid strategy RPG.
Yeah,
it's like strategy RPG light.
Yeah,
like it's nice. You had a lot of you have your different buffs you're taking, or encumbrance on the enemy, so you can gross them out. You can chill them; they'll lose a turn. They'll bleed, or you can electrocute them. So you're kind of playing off those four elemental things. But man, Timmy's character was great too. It was the Professor X thing. I almost wish he was playable, like in your group.
Maybe he'll have his own DLC episode.
I don't know. Oh yeah, so I went up to the wall in Canada. So there's a wall in Canada.
Of course there is. Why not?
That's pretty good.
And there's a Canadian talking trash up there to you when you walk up there.
That's pretty good.
And the memberries, man, that was great too. So I decided that I was gonna do my part and attempt to finish out Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale game. So episode 3 and 4 are significantly better than 1 and 2.
Oh, good.
As you said, though, that's a low bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is, it was a really low bar. Everyone still hates me, and apparently my character group going into episode 5, 0% players had the same setup that I.
Amazing.
So I don't know how well this is going to end for me, because right now it's me and Rocket. Everybody else has quit or is gone.
I'm waiting for you to get a letter from Telltale where it's like, my God, you did it. You're the one.
Yeah.
You have the worst run in the game. We didn't think people could do it.
I didn't even I didn't know it was possible for certain story beat things to happen the way they did. I'm trying to make the best of a horrible situation because everybody hates everybody at this point again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought I brought them all back in, and then all of a sudden they started dying, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, I don't...
Oh, man.
So, I am probably going to finish that game.
I sort of want to play it now, just to see how different our runs would be. If it's like $10 for that first season, I might pick it up, just to see how different our experiences would be.
I don't know, man, because I'm pretty middle of the road with most of the decisions, and they want you to choose sides from the minute go. And boy, do they throw it in your face constantly. Drax was the worst with it.
Yeah.
It's like, you never side with me in anything. And then you sent this little creature to read my mind. Why would you do that without my permission? I'm like, I don't know, I thought it was funny.
Drax, go sit down.
But no, you do get some nice little backstory with Nebula and Gamora and Drax and even Rocket. So you learn a little more about the edges and the depths of the characters. So am enjoying that aspect of it, but man, that thing just keeps it's like a gut punch over and over and over again.
It's like the end of Mass Effect 2 where you send exactly the wrong people into every experience, where you're just like, okay, it's you and me, Legion, fighting the Terminator. Let's do this, I guess.
Yep. I am not prepared for this in the least.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, so I will probably finish that up, well, probably tonight. I think I'll wrap that sucker up tonight.
Have all 5 episodes come out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Last time I looked, it was episode 3. So.
Yeah. So last time I looked, like it, like I like had finished, like I got them on release. I'm like, okay, so I got these first 2, and I looked like, oh, I can download all these. All right.
Yeah. Cool. That's good news.
So it's done. Hopefully, it sprints to the finish pretty well and have some sort of meaningful thing. Because right now, the one thing that I think I could save everybody with, I blew it up. So,
of course you did.
Well, that happened.
But yeah, so like I have like my group is 0% out of everybody else that played this game, but yet most of my decisions are on everyone did the same thing, and I'm like, then how do did they not send him to do that, or
right.
I could choose somebody else to do that? Like what? How did this go wrong?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so right now it's I got Star-Lord, Rocket, and a Rockworm.
Great.
That's my crew. That's what the Rockworm Blue, by the way.
Oh, well, naturally.
Blue. Just so I could say, you're my boy, Blue.
Yeah.
And then I started trudging my way through Agents of Mayhem.
Oh, yeah, I saw you playing this and immediately thought, oh, is he going to get it done by end of game? Or by game of the year, I should say.
It's possible. Right now, the only thing that's been a saving grace for me in this game is the roller derby chick Daisy, who's a heavy, and she's on roller skates the entire time. With a Gatling gun.
Well, that sounds pretty great, actually.
She's all tattooed up, and she's got a big daisy in her hair, and she's got like the pinup girl look. And
that's pretty cool.
As you fall from high places, she kind of rides her Gatling gun like a surfboard. It's pretty awesome.
I like all of that.
Yeah, so the characters are great, but I think everybody's just wrapped in just a bad game.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally go to this point, shoot everybody, go to this point, shoot everybody, hacking minigame, go to this point, shoot everybody, hacking minigame, go to this point, oh, put this person in a bubble, blow up the bomb, shoot everybody. Like, the game is so, like, I think it takes place in South Korea. And South Korea is so vertical. Yeah. Like, there's so much stuff everywhere. That I'm like, man, I just want to get to the point. I just want to get through this thing.
Yeah.
Like,
it's such a shame.
Like, I think this game came out 5 years too late for what this... If this would have been an amazing game 5 years ago.
Yeah, like on the late cycle 360, it would have been like, everybody's picking this up, we're playing this every week, this game is great.
Yeah, it has that, but it's kind of washed into that, the thing that made Saints Row fun was those were just a bunch of colorful rogues. Like, this, they're trying to be I'm guessing be the Saints crew, but they're just not. Right.
They're trying too hard without realizing that you just need to make new characters. Like, don't worry about making them iconic.
But every one of them is trying to be iconic. You got the Hollywood guy, you got the Bollywood chick with the bow and arrow, you got the South American hacker from Rio de Janeiro, you got your bumbling, I can't say he's bumbling, but you got your shotgun dude from America, and like just your techie black chick that's, you know, does your thing. Your English guys giving you your cars, which he did have a funny line. He's like, I saw you jump in a civilian's car. What did I do to deserve that? I was like, That's brilliant.
Great.
I thank you for that because I was not having any fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, your arms guy, some dude looking for his bagpipes, but so he's like a Scotty type character. So everything's such a caricature of what it is, of what those things could be. Where I don't know why that works so well in Saints Row and it works so poorly here.
I wonder if because Saints Row after 2, maybe 2 included, just they were making fun of Grand Theft Auto, and because they were taking that same formula but having fun with it, I think that worked so well for them. But nowadays, like, if you look at something like Overwatch, all of those characters have backstories and they're from those different countries, but they don't. The Overwatch characters aren't defined by where they're from. Where it sounds like Agents of Mayhem, it is the thing. It is their character. It's like the guy from Scotland is looking for his bagpipes. Oh, of course. And sort of like, yeah, but does he have anything else?
Well, that and I don't know yet.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Because I mean, the reason why I like Daisy so much so far was your introduction to her is her trying to piece together her night of partying. Because she's hungover. You end up at a sushi kiosk and you just beat the crap out of it because it won't give you a pizza. If she wants a pizza.
Right.
And then it goes through next, and then she goes through another party, and then you relive the party and stuff, and then, obviously, like, the bad guys show up, and you gotta kill all the bad guys, and then you're like, oh, wait, I think at some point I committed a felony. And then next thing you know, you're in this art, you get tricked into going to steal some art, and then it just ends up being a trap for this something else. But maybe it just is not conveying why I should care quite yet, but
right.
On a whole, it doesn't do anything egregiously wrong as far as the game mechanics and what you're doing. It's just the reasoning behind it.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything wrong. It just doesn't do anything that well.
Yeah, like the old school middle of the road games where it's competent, it's just not outstanding in any way.
Right.
Well, and it hasn't done that one thing that's been outstanding, where I think where Saints Row 3 came through was jumping onto that rooftop to go get that penthouse back.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That set the tone for the whole game, and somehow they managed to go crazier from that point on.
Yeah.
And because that was the moment where I fell in love with that game.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even Saints Row 4, like, it opens up and you're riding
a rocket.
Riding a rocket to Aerosmith. Like, it's missing this level of irony that I think it needs to have.
Yeah.
But, and I think everyone's just taking themselves just a little too seriously in this world.
Yeah, you sort of want something fun from that team, where it's not really, there might be a serious moment here or there, but you kind of want like a campy, fun ride.
Yep. That's probably exactly it. Yeah. And I don't see them going off the rails. Like, I think this is just, it's going to be down the middle the whole ride with this game.
And for a game called Agents of Mayhem, I sort of want it to go off the rails a little bit.
Yep.
It's in the name.
Yeah.
Man.
My hope is the bad guy ends up being Johnny Gat. That's the only thing the only thing can pull this back.
That'd be great.
But it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, and in other news, guess what didn't come out December 1st, 2017?
What's that?
My wireless headset!
When was it supposed to come out? In the first?
Yes. Guess when it is? March 31st, 2018 now.
Wow.
Sounds about right.
That's way back there. Just breathe it out.
Deep breath.
Oh man, I was fired up.
Woosah.
Yeah.
Oh man. But that's my prediction out the window apparently.
Anything else you played this week?
Nope.
All right, Moonpier, toss it over to you.
I played very little this week except for one game, so I'm gonna do two little catches or catching ups at the end because I've got a nice long segment of depression right now.
Okay.
So
the world is too happy, so bring us down.
Yes, the world is definitely too happy, especially today.
No.
I have been powering my way through Need for Speed Payback. Need for Speed Payback is a completely mediocre game that is completely destroyed by the microtransaction and progression. I say this because I believe I likened the controls last week to Burnout Paradise, where it's like, yeah, you tap the brake, you do a power slide.
Right.
That works. The rating of the cars operates similar to the way Forza operates on a 0 to 999 ranking.
Oh, sure.
It operates like that, except it's 0 to 399.
Okay.
Okay, nice and simple. The second you get up to about 270, 280, it becomes very, very difficult to control those vehicles, especially the off-road ones. It becomes so hard when you're asked to drive around a relatively sharp corner with rocks that you will hit and impact and dead stop immediately on both sides of the road. And the car is just a little bit too uncontrollable.
Oh, good. That's
so. As the game progresses, not only does the speed get faster, the controls are harder to wrangle with, and the opposition is harder to race against as well, just to make it that much better. And it gets even better than that.
Oh no.
Because at first, you do a race, you get a speed card from it. Yes, I'm going to talk about the cards again. You get a speed card from it. That one speed card is usually enough to take you up to the requirement level needed for the next race.
Okay.
That's fine. That's perfect. You know? Okay. At the second stage of the campaign levels, you need to do about 2 races to get the required level to get up to the next event.
Okay.
At the third stage of the campaign, you might be looking at 4 up to 6 races, depending on if you roll the correct piece of equipment you need to upgrade.
Oh my god.
And one more time, it takes 10 minutes for the tune-up shop where you can just buy the upgrades. It takes 10 minutes for that to refresh.
God, I hate everything about those sentences you just said.
It gets worse!
Oh my god.
The cars you buy from the stores can only be upgraded to level 299.
What?
You need
what?
As you beat the first 4 bosses of the game, you unlock, or the first 5 bosses, I should say, you unlock the derelicts. Stop me if you've heard this before.
Derelict.
But you find in the wilderness, there's this chassis waiting there.
Oh,
so
weird. Like in a barn that you find it in? Something like that? Like on a Horizon? Forza 3?
You can see it on the horizon, but unfortunately not because it's in a barn, because it's next to a hobo campfire usually.
Okay.
Pro tip, if you're playing Payback and you're looking for the derelict parts, look for the pillars of smoke. They're always next to the hobo campfires.
That's a little
always
easier
but
to find.
It gets better than that. You pick up the chassis, then you have to go pick up the wheels, the drivetrain, the something else, and the something else. So you've got 5 collectibles to go and find in the world that they give you a little map hint for. I really actually like that. Here's 4 photographs and little snippets of the map. Go find it.
I like when games do that.
That's really nice. What's not so nice is then when you get that derelict, all of the speed cards on it are ranked 1.
Oh god.
It gets worse.
Oh my god, I can't take it anymore.
The speed cards are not class specific, they are car specific.
Oh, of course. Why the hell not?
I had what's known as the runner build set up, and I was thinking, well, I've waited for the shop to refresh twice now. Why is it still only giving me level 12 speed cards when the maximum is 18? It turns out the reason for that was because I couldn't get it past 299, which is what it was at. And I'm sitting there thinking, why can't I do this? And then I thought, wait, all of my other cars, as soon as I've found a derelict, I've immediately turned it into a type and then, progressed with that car rather than any of the others. I then turned my last derelict, my Volkswagen Bug, the old school one, into my runner car, which is the smash the cops off the road, which I just thought was hilarious for a Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah.
I turned that into my runner car. And I thought, well, I'll just go in, and I've already got all these spare parts from my other runner that I can just, all these cards that I can put into it. No, you can't. You have to start from scratch, which means you then have to you either sit there and do what I've been doing and do chores while you wait for the shop to refresh and upgrade the card that way. So every 10 minutes I'm coming back to the console, I'm buying a bunch of cards, and then I'm walking away and doing some more chores.
But your house looks super clean.
Oh, no, it doesn't. There's still so much left to do here.
Oh, well. Maybe the wait should have been 20 minutes then.
It was originally 30 minutes until they patched it to 10.
Wow.
No joke, the first patch says change the refresh rate from 30 minutes to 10.
This hurts me.
And I mentioned previously you get one trade-in card or one part card, so you can spend 3 of them to do that spinny thing to get a randomized item.
Mm-hmm.
It feels at this point like I think I've got 3 or 4 races left to be done with this game, and I cannot be done fast enough.
Yeah.
Because at this point, the only reason I'm at the point I'm at progression-wise is because every time you level up, you get a free base shipment.
Oh, God.
Guess what the premium shipments need? The only way I've been able to get my progression to the point where I'm at is because I had 33 shipments waiting for me, because I wanted to see if I could go through the game and progress normally without interacting with the crate system at all.
Right.
I couldn't. It was either grind out the rest of these races over and over and over again, doing the same races one after the other, back to back, then go back to the shop and then see what I can buy and so on and so forth, or at least look at this shipment system. I had 33 crates, so I opened all of my 33 crates for ranking up. I think I ended up with 124 parts cards, which is not a lot when you consider you have to do it with every single car in the game. And I ended up with like $300,000. And yet, even at that point, because if I spend my parts cards on my derelict that I'm trying to increase to past 299, I've spent 3 parts cards on a spin that will give me an upgrade for the next 10 minutes while I wait for the shop to update itself with my new level, so I can then buy the next generation of cards and then have to upgrade again until I can buy the next generations of cards. At this point, it feels like it has been deliberately designed to make you go into that shipment system and even think about purchasing the premium shipments.
You know, as I've been listening to you talk about this, I'm reminded of that joke GIF that passed around once microtransactions really started, which was, you know, the first Super Mario Brothers with microtransactions in it. This is so much worse than that. This is like worse than the worst joke nightmare of someone saying, because not only is it at every turn is it sort of taking advantage of the necessity for the loot box system, but it's a lot of these games, you know, like Forza, let's say Forza Horizon 3 and maybe Forza 6, those were always in the background. It was always sort of like, you can keep racing, you can make it a little bit faster if you want to spend some money. Just a suggestion. If not, I'll see you later. I'll go away.
Yep.
This always feels like you have blinders on, and it's just pushing you over to the ATM to say, like, just take a little bit of money. Don't worry about it. You know, it just feels so nakedly exploitative that it's pretty gross.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I would be enjoying this game so much more, as riddled with cliches as it is. It's been a lot of dumb fun.
Yeah.
Like, the driving is okay, the characters in themselves are horrifically hilarious. There is one of the last leagues you go against is the 1%er league.
Of course.
And please see last week's episode for all the references to the house and the collector and things like this. And the leader of that live streams while she's racing.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And as you're raising her, she's like, shout out to the chat. Thank you very much for the donation, Wolf K.
Oh,
give me $5 more and we'll sing whatever you want on the stream.
That is frighteningly accurate.
Yes, and also it's kind of funny in the way it's presented, considering she's driving a Lamborghini at like 198 mile an hour. There is a quote-unquote plot twist coming up real soon, which you can see coming from a mile away.
I like quote-unquote plot twist.
Because it's so obvious what's going on. There is a one-line reference at the midpoint of the story, and then there is about 20 hints dropped as to what this means as you progress further on. But I'm genuinely enjoying the game in the Moon way, which is a dumb fun kind of way. It's a switch off my brain and just do something for a while. Like, I've played a bunch of games in the same way where you don't have to take it seriously. You can just switch off and drive and drift and have fun doing chaos, like things all around. But today was the day when I got very, very angry with the game, because today was the day I discovered that a standard car can't go past $299.
Right.
Today was the day I realized I didn't get my last derelict car until 2/3 of the way through the story, and there is 5 car builds. There is off-road, drift, race, runner, and drag, because it has drag races in, which are actually kind of cool.
Interesting.
So you get 5 derelicts throughout the story. So that last one you get is 2/3 of the way through the story, and that is making you start that car from scratch, because as soon as you get up to the point where I'm at, it says recommended car level 320. My car at the moment goes up to 299. So I ain't got a chance in hell of doing that unless I get my derelict and spend the time to upgrade it.
Oh God.
So
I think for me the worst part about this is I think a lot of people will look at this game and say, like, oh, well, this is just the free-to-play systems put in this game. I don't think I've run into a free-to-play game that has been that mean.
no.
Like a genuine, like, anything you play on mobile is never that mean.
Specifically, single-player game
Right.
this mean.
Right.
Like, Battlefront 2, whatever you want to say about that, UFC 3, whatever you want to say about that, Paladins, Neverwinter. So many games have got this issue in a competitive environment. This is me playing by myself.
Right.
And I hate to say it, but I'm going to use the quote-unquote again here, but the quote-unquote cool part about Need for Speed has always been the ridiculous underglow colors and the I'm going to have pink smoke and my nitrous is going to be bright orange just to be as garish as humanly possible. All of that is in the shipments. Every single aspect of that is in the shipments section of the game. I didn't unlock any underglow or any nitrous smoke or any tire smoke until I started opening shipments. And it's like, really?
That was the sound of my soul leaving my body because I'm done.
That's the sound of EA's soul leaving their body, because they used to be a great company.
Yeah.
And now they are a business.
EA used to be a great company genuinely in the 90s.
No.
It's been a real long time since they've been that good. It was when their logo had EOA. That's when they were great.
Yeah, when they were making cartridges with the little yellow tab in it.
Yeah.
I also give you the early Xbox 360 days with the EA Partners initiative.
Sure.
That was a great EA as well.
They did a good job fostering a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
And
but
then bottom
Activision
closed
set
it.
a low bar during that time, so
True.
it didn't have to try hard to look
Somebody
like a
had
good
to
guy.
be second worst.
Yes, exactly. But I can't recommend this game. I literally cannot. I'm enjoying it. I'm liking playing it. It feels like I'm getting punched in the face over and over and over again.
Yeah. And
By
asked
this
to
crate.
pay for it.
Yeah,
That was
exactly.
$5.
So yeah, don't buy Payback.
Here's $5 for your punch in the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, for anybody listening, anybody watching, it's hilarious watching Mina lose her mind in the chat, because I know how she feels about.
Chad is definitely with us in general, especially Mina.
Yeah, it's just don't buy it. Like, just don't.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is, as soon as the heat has backed down from the whole situation they're in, and the heat will back down, people will.
Sorry, just Mina and Chat. I'm so mad, Moonpeer.
It's as soon as this press nightmare they find themselves in right now backs away, they're going to do what every company does, and they're going to patch all of this stuff in to make it even worse, and that's what bothers me. Forza Horizon 3 did it as well.
Yeah.
Forza Horizon 3 didn't have microtransactions in. The second all the good reviews are in, and the second, the big
Metacritic
wash of...
quiets down.
Yeah, the second that happens, there's the microtransactions. Which
And
you
I wish we
can't
were being pessimistic.
Yeah.
But, like, the timing is just too coincidental.
Mm-hmm. It's... The great thing about Forza Horizon 3, at least, is you press one button and you turn off those microtransactions.
Yep.
Like, it's
And it has
really
Hot Wheels
simple.
in it, so, like...
Well, yeah, there's that too. And it has rallying and snow, which is fantastic as well.
That game's so good.
I'm excited to get there.
Yeah.
Yes. It's actually really fun. The rallying, I haven't done the Hot Wheels yet. But other than that, I played 2 old games, which is... Sorry about this, knobs. I played Warhammer End Times. I forgot how great that game is. To give it its full TVGP title, I played The Rat Game.
Right.
It's Games with Gold now, so nobody's got an excuse to not play it with
for
us.
The first
Sure,
half
I
of this
do.
month, right?
No, it's the
whole
it
month?
started December
Okay.
1st, so that should run all the way until January 1st.
Okay.
But yeah, End Times is really good and really fun to play and get loot, and all of the stuff they seem to have been put in the DLC seems like it's going to be a really interesting trek through the mountains. We lit a beacon, and the beacons of Gondor went across the mountaintops. It was really beautiful. But yeah, I played that with Jess and Balkirk. Had a good time, and then Jess went and played Siege, because that's what Jess does.
Yeah.
And the last game I played was Battlefield 1, continuing the trek through the DLC world. That game is still so much fun. And a great reference for knobs here. The new DLC has a World War I hurt locker.
Really?
Like, legitimately, the level is the exact same. It's not the exact same, but it's a similar designed layout to the locker from Battlefield 4, where there is a path outside, and there is a path through a bunker, and the capture points are at 2 at each end and 1 directly in the middle, and it's just corridors of death the entire time. It's really fun and really frustrating at the same time, because it is exactly like the locker, which when you have a good match on the locker, it's fun. When you don't, it's heartbreaking.
Well, the locker's fun 1 out of 15 times you play it. Like,
That's how this level felt. It was just...
Yep, there we go. Round time.
Yay! It was
Good night,
genuinely fun. And because I've got the DLC and because it's Battlefield, I now have like missions to unlock guns. One of the missions is to heal 50 people, and one of them is to get 100 heals. I did them in one map.
Jeez.
So I revived 50 people, and I healed 100 people just by throwing a medical box in the middle of a corridor, waiting around a corner, and then watching as everybody died as gas grenades and incendiary grenades and everything else is backwards and forwards down this corridor, and I just injected everybody with my morphine and my adrenaline to get them back up again. It was great.
Yeah.
I legitimately had a lot of fun, but that's pretty much all I've been playing. So, Boston, over to you.
I actually have 4 games to talk about this week, which I feel like is some sort of record for this last year.
You beat me. That is a record.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about my first game, and I want people to have an open mind, because I'm going to describe a game that doesn't sound like it's for you, and I want you to try it. And I can't explain a lot about it. So it's a game called Doki Doki Literature Club. It is a free 4-hour visual novel on Steam. The thing is that it isn't, but I can't explain why, because that's sort of like talking about Spec Ops: The Line.
It isn't free, or it isn't a visual novel?
It is free.
Considering our current train of discussion.
That is fair. It is completely free. You can download it on, I think, the developer's website or Steam. I went for the Steam one because Steam's easy. If I was to talk about any of this game, it would be like talking about Spec Ops: The Line, where it's sort of like, Spec Ops is good because it isn't what you think it is. Doki Doki Literature Club is really good because it really isn't what you think it is. The only thing I will say is it gives you 2 warnings at the beginning of the game that you really, really need to take to heart. One is you need to be 13 or older to play it. That should be easy to figure out if you are. The other one is I cannot communicate this clearly enough. It says if you suffer depression or anxiety, you should not play this game. I'm not kidding with you. Don't play this game if you struggle with either of those. The game will mess you up. But you should go play this game. So far, I think 4 hours in, and I got the regular ending, which was flat out incredible. And I think tonight I need to spend like maybe another hour or two, and I'll get the actual true ending, which I'm hoping is even better and crazier than what I saw. And it is killing me I cannot talk about this game, and it's killing me I can't talk about what happens in the game, because I've never played something like this before, but telling you why would ruin it.
Run this name again for me.
Doki Doki Literature Club. If you just search for Literature Club, it's going to be the only thing on Steam. So it's written in Ren'Py, the visual novel engine. So I'm going to say that virtually every computer can play this game. Moonpeer will probably find out.
Yeah, I will try.
Moon's computer is bad. The only other recommendation I can make is when a choice comes up on the screen, use your mouse. I know it will let you choose with your arrow keys. Just use the mouse instead. It'll make some stuff easier. But just go try it. It's by the end of like the intro hour, I think you'll know if you like it or not. I finished. So last week I talked about the first half of the first episode of Batman Season 2, the Batman Telltale, the Darkness Rises or whatever. I thought, well, I'll just play the first episode and I'll try and space them out. Except literally a minute later, after I got back into the game, something huge and crazy happened. And I was like, okay, well, now I just have to play all of them. So I finished the first 3 episodes, which are all the ones that are out. The ending of the first episode of Season 2 is incredible and genuinely shocking. The Riddler is consistently great. Episode 2 was even better. That had a great ending. Episode 3 was fantastic. Somehow they've managed to make a Batman game that's better than Season 1, and it kind of pisses me off. Because episodes 4 and 5 aren't out. And alright, so I'm glad you brought that up, Knobs. I think the reason why this works is because they don't respect Batman canon. And I think that's the strongest part of the Telltale Batman. Like, you know, in the first season, you're just like, oh my god, here we go with Martha and Thomas are dead, except, wait, what? Yeah. Their backstory is way different, and this is way better. And I think that's the biggest strength of Season 2. Bane gets introduced. He is way different and way cooler. They actually made Harley Quinn a really good, interesting character that I don't hate. And I think they wrote the Harley Quinn that I've always wanted to see, which is somebody that's a little more serious and someone that's a little bit more deranged, but not what you see in like the cartoon. It's not this like over the top, you know, big character. You know, the Harley Quinn they have in there is a little bit more quiet and way more menacing, and I think that's more terrifying.
Right.
Is where she is in
quiet insanity is the worst.
Yeah, and it's also like she's sort of like a cornered animal throughout like episodes 2 and 3 because she's dangerous. And
are we talking like Gary Oldman from the Professional levels where he's cool, calm, and collected, and when he snaps, he snaps?
No, because they're sort of playing off you knowing who Harley Quinn is and sort of changing that a little bit, where you know she's dangerous, and the stuff she does, you know, is like a step away from unhinged, but where it seems like her storyline is in these episodes is she's already like an accomplished criminal. Like, she's already done. It's not like, oh, I was a doctor yesterday and now I'm Harley Quinn. It's like, no, I used to be the doctor a long time ago. I'm a legitimate criminal now. And I think that level of confidence paired with that level of her being dangerous is really, really interesting. And I like that it's not, here's a big cartoony hammer and bonk, oh, somebody's dead. You know, it's not, it's a lot scarier than that. Mr. Freeze shows up, and of course he's Mr. Freeze and just sort of sucks in general for right now. And by and far, like Season 1, the breakout star of this season is John Doe. And them taking... Because as soon as you see John Doe, you know who he is. He doesn't. But you look at him and go, oh, yeah, alright, okay, yeah, cool. Like, when's that gonna happen? And being able to see him struggle... The big part of Season 2 so far has been him struggling with what to do outside Arkham. I don't want to spoil it, but there's some really great stuff about him talking about how uncomfortable he is outside of Arkham. And like how he doesn't feel like he fits because he felt like he fit on the inside. And the season is really hard because you're being pulled between 3 or 4 different factions, but you kind of want to help all of them to get, you know, your ends met, but you can't. So, like Knobs was saying with Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, that game really makes you make choices. The thing with Telltale Batman is you have to make the hard choices. And it only gives you, instead of giving you the 4 choices, a lot of times it's just giving you 2.
Yeah.
And both of them are right and both of them are wrong. And it's really interesting and it's really tough playing through this, and I know being nice to John Doe is going to bite me. I know it. I can feel it in my bones. Especially because it's Telltale. But I can't help being nice to him because he's kind of like a puppy. And he just loves Bruce Wayne and Batman so much. I just want to be nice to him. And I know it's going to be the worst choice ever. So far, I really can't recommend this enough. I think so far it's better than Season 1. Because I think Season 1 took until Episode 3 to get really good. Like the very end of Episode 3.
I'm still reeling about that reveal.
Yeah.
Just blew my mind.
And I feel like that moment is sort of like, okay, I'm in for this. And I think, for me, the beginning of Episode 1 in Season 2 was like that. And then it so far has escalated the whole time. And the twists and turns are just, I would never have expected it to go this way. And it's really great. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
I really need to play Season 1.
You really need to play Season 1. It's probably like a hot 8 hours.
Shall we talk about how I haven't played Tales yet?
Oh boy. I don't know which one you would want to play first. You'd have to flip a coin. Both of them are really good.
Borderlands.
Yeah. Yeah, so far, I think my recommendation is, if you enjoyed Season 1, I think so far the ride on Season 2 has been worth it. And okay. I would find it hard to believe they'd be able to screw it up in the last 2 episodes.
But this is Telltale.
Yeah. Usually they don't screw it up near the end. Usually they screw it up at the beginning.
True.
And then they sort of fix it by the end. But I don't know. It's been a real good, between that and Life is Strange Before the Storm, like, it's been a pretty good year for these types of games, and I really want this season to end on a high note. And it's just so good. Moving on, though, because I could talk about that for a while and I don't want to spoil it. Game Dev Tycoon came out on iOS. It's coming out on Android in January, if I remember correctly from the email. This came out on PC a couple of years ago, I think. And basically, without trying to minimize it too much, is basically a modern game dev story. It's made by a team of just two brothers. It's a very, very small team, and you start off making games in your garage, and you do the same thing that you did in game dev story, where you're researching genres and you're making your own consoles, and this one you're making your own game engines. I think it's $4 on iOS, so iPhone and iPad. I really can't recommend this enough. I think this is the platform I wanted to play it on. It was fine on PC, but I think it having touch controls has made this game way better. And I like that they did the thing that a lot of these games started doing, where it took me a couple of playthroughs to sort of get the right combination of games down to get through those first couple of years. That can be the really hard ones. Everything you research, like everything you learn, basically you go and you make a game and you say, all right, I want to make a pirate adventure game for the PC. Once you complete that game, you basically create a postmortem from it, and the postmortem will say, like, okay, well, pirate and action is a really good combo, but maybe pirate and PC isn't a good combo. So when you go to make another game and you pick your genre and your sort of gameplay style, it will tell you, maybe you don't want to do that one, that's not a good combo. That stuff carries over from game to game. So you'll have to research your genre and your setting, but once you do, it'll even say, like, well, this game is popular with mature audiences, so maybe put that on PC and maybe change it from being a game for everyone to being a game for mature. So it makes your subsequent playthroughs a little bit easier. I sort of wish they had launched this on both platforms, because I think Knobs would really enjoy playing this.
I really like Game Dev Story.
Yeah, and what I like about it is it isn't exactly Game Dev Story, but it's sort of, they took that game, which is now like a decade old, because it came out on PC in Japan a real long time ago, and they just really modernized it. They made it a lot easier to play, they made the games easier to develop, they made it a lot clearer about, when you make a game with these stats and put this focus on it, here's how good the game is going to be in the end. So you can start planning your company a lot better. And it's really great. I managed the other day to successfully go through the 35 years, because it's like a lot of those Kairosoft games where you have a set year goal. This game is 35 years, and then at the end you get a score value, and that says you can keep playing if you want, no new consoles will come out, or you can start a whole new run over. So I managed to complete one run successfully. But yeah, it's really great, and I thought it was fine on PC when I played it a couple years ago, but I think they've spent a ton of time working on it, and it being on a mobile platform, I think, has done it a ton of favors. I think this is the place you want to play it. So I'm signed up to their mailing list, so I'll talk about it when it comes on Android to remind everyone to, hey, go buy it over there. Last but certainly not least, Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Yes.
I have started it. I am probably playing it exactly the opposite way that Knobs has played it. I'm playing it as a purely stealth game.
Yes.
With all takedowns, and I've actually not been successful firing from the hip. I've only been successful shooting down sights. Which
really?
Is for some reason in this game I can ride the recoil really well, and I'm just headshotting people like crazy, which I was not expecting. I just, right before we recorded, I just got to the point where I broke Fergus out of jail, and I just landed in like the resistance camp. So I'm a bit a ways through the game, but I probably don't have to tell everyone that Wolfenstein is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Are you surprised on the level of good that it is?
No, but I am surprised about there's a couple things I'm surprised about. One is I'm surprised at how good the voice acting is for BJ.
Yes.
That whoever voices BJ is, or Blasco, as I like Fergus calling him, is really good. He captures that like burnt shell of a man voice acting. I also really like the cutscene direction.
Yep.
Which is an odd thing to say for a first-person shooter, but the lighting and the camera work and the facial animations and the cuts, like there was a really good cut. One of the early levels is when one of the Nazis plays that trick on you, where she has you look at those pictures to figure out if you have impure blood. The scene after that, when Anya, I think her name is, when she gets up and she closes the door on the train, and as soon as it closes, she's closing the window. It cuts to her closing the window in the room you're in Berlin, and I was just like, man, that's good. Like you just cut out a bunch of BS in this game by just saying like, I'm gonna use a cool cinematic cut and say we were in the train, now we're here, go sneak onto that car. It's like, okay, cool. Thank you for respecting my time. And also thank you for letting me shoot a bunch of Nazis in the face, because that's still really fun.
Yep.
Oh, the gunplay in that game is so good. That's funny, because it's funny. So you're comfortable down sights in that game. I don't know what it was. It was just the wobble to that gun. Like I could never quite shoot effectively.
It's pretty tough. I think it also helps that I'm playing on the second easiest, not the one where you have the pacifier and the bib.
Yeah,
but the one.
It's so hard to pick that. It's so hard It's so hard to pick that because it's like, oh man, I just want to get through it. But come on, don't do that to me.
I think they called that very easy, and
you got the worried look, Blasco.
Yeah, and like the wording, they made it. I think the thing that stopped me wasn't the hilarious picture they kept, but I think it was the wording of like, you're not gonna have any problems getting through this game. I was like, well, I want like a little bit of fight in these Nazis, but I don't want a ton. Like I don't want to play on hard or anything. I want to go and I want to enjoy this game and sort of motor right through this and the Old Blood and Wolf 2 without having too much difficulty, but without, I don't want to be able to walk in front of a Nazi and just like stab him in the chest and be like, where'd that come from? Oh no, mein Leben.
I thought it was kind of great. Some of those areas.
Don't say mein Leben.
That's from the first one.
And so where you kind of sneak around and you're actually listening to some of the conversations they're having.
Yeah. I played Wolf 1, New Order and Old Blood. I played it the exact same way you're playing it, by the way. Stealth 100% of the way. Like, it bothered me if I got found. And yes, mein Leben is the nasty achievement with in Wolf 2. The achievement's called mein Leben, which is don't die. If you die, title screen, start again.
Oh, yikes.
And it's on the hardest difficulty.
Oh, of course. The real Iron Man mode.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm surprised at how much I am enjoying playing it stealth, because I thought it would be clunkier than it is to play it stealth. It's always really great to go up behind a Nazi and like stab him in the back of the neck. It's really, I didn't think you could silently take down the dogs. But that was a fun discovery. I just fought like one or two of those big mechanical metal dogs, like the ones that are 2 or 3 times bigger. That was interesting.
Yeah, those things are like, that was the first thing that gave me a problem. Like when you're landing on that beach, when you come up to that first robotic dog, and you're like, "What the hell is this thing?"
Yeah. I got that little gun that cuts locks and stuff like that. The
laser cutter, basically.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Man, that wasn't in the new Colossus. I totally forgot about the mechanic. I forgot how much fun it was. Like ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just vaporizes in the new one. I prefer the cutty one.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying it, and I think I think a big part of that is the gunplay is really solid, and it is legitimately fun to play. The map is so easy to read, which is really, really great. More companies need to do, if a circle that says B and it's blue has a down arrow, the circle that has B and blue that has up arrow means I go down the stairs that way and I go out that way. That's all I need on a map. Like
simple map design,
yeah.
which they've been doing for years.
Crazy. It's, I think, coupling really solid gameplay with a genuinely interesting story. Like, I really didn't know how much time passed between him getting hurt at the intro and then him waking up in a really cool scene when he wakes up and just gets to stabbing. The unveil of that being 14 years was like, okay, that's wait, what? Like, that's incredible, man. And I'm not worried about spoiling because this game's pretty old by this point anyways, and it's like an hour into it, but this game's good.
I just can't believe the world building in that game was just outstanding.
Yeah.
I mean, that first area was man, it starts you off in a hot mess right from the rip, and from that point on, like it crescendos early, and then it goes back, it brings it back down to a manageable pace, and just continually works its way up.
Yeah, because the intro chapter was really hectic, and I thought that was really good, and I liked when you get to the next area, when you're going through that checkpoint, and you know, the dad is driving the car a little bit, and he says, "Hey, there's more Nazis out there."
Isn't that where he's like, "Hey, bratwurst"?
Yeah. I like that. You know, you were going forward a little bit, and then he'd say, "Hey, go clear out this checkpoint," and that's when I figured out I liked playing this as a stealth game a lot, because I got to sneak around the back of this building and then sort of pick off one Nazi at a time, and then find the commander, and then sort of give him the stabby Jones, and then everybody was dead, and I could sort of sneak back to the car.
Well, you haven't made the mistake yet where you actually alerted the commander where
I totally did.
Because he spawns people endlessly.
Well, the game, I think it's really interesting / good / a little bit frustrating that in the intro the game doesn't explain, like, when the radio signal comes up that there's a commander in the area.
Yeah.
Until you make the mistake of, like, hey, you alerted the Nazis and now there's 40 of them. And it's sort of like, oh, that's okay, loud and clear. That's what that is. But yeah, the game's real good. I'm glad I finally have the time to play it, and I'm hoping that I have enough time to sort of play all 3 of them back to back, because I know especially the Old Blood is pretty short, but I know Wolf 1 and Wolf 2 aren't terribly long. I know they're in like the 10 to 15 hour range. Especially since I'm playing on easy. Like, I haven't died yet. I got pretty close on the prison break, but
you'll probably fly through them. Yeah. On Wolf 2, definitely choose Don't Hurt Me Daddy. Definitely choose it.
I have heard that from everybody. Yeah. That game is way too hard. Yeah. Plus, if I want to do the sneaking, like, I want to sneak around.
Oh, even on the Don't Hurt Me Daddy difficulty, you're still in threat. Yeah. You're still, like, under duress.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. So I want to go play more of that. I wanted to play much more of that, but then Telltale Batman Season 2 was really good. I was like, okay, well, let's knock this out real quick, and then we can get back to killing Nazis.
Okay, really quick question before we head to break then.
Sure.
What about Doom?
What about Doom? Someday. I mean, it's on the it's on the pile. When I'm sitting in my recliner, I can see it right under the TV in the pile.
No, I'm happy. Actually, I'm actually happier he's playing Wolfenstein.
To be honest, so am I.
The thing about Doom is, I think whenever they announce Doom 2, I will probably
play it?
Either that or, like, when Doom 2 comes out, I'll say, all right, I'll just play both of them sort of back to back.
Honestly, that thought had never crossed my mind until you just said it.
What, Doom 2?
Doom 2.
Yes.
I look for our predictions episode. Probably going to happen in 2018, I bet. But the thing for me is, I think I'm in the mood for Wolfenstein right now because Wolf 2 came out and I could get it for so cheap. Doom, I'm always going to enjoy that game. I'm always going to be in the mood for that game. It just needs to bubble up to the top of the pile. Because for me, that's a known quantity. Like, everything about that game, I played through the first level. I know that game is 100% for me. I don't need to, like, capture that right now for me to enjoy it, like some of these games. Not like I'm saying that for Wolf, but it's the right time for Wolfenstein.
I am just so excited for you to play through Wolfenstein because that game goes places you don't. That game doesn't need to go, and you're like, or you didn't think that game needed to go there, and it went there. You're like, why did this never happen?
Right.
Like, oh, especially in New Colossus. Like, I don't want to spoil it. Like, it's means because there's an my gosh, like same thing. There's an area in this game where you're like, what?
What am I doing? Yeah.
That means that I'm gonna. There was two things I was gonna bring up specifically in the Game of the Year cast with Wolf 2. I'm not gonna bring them up now, though.
Oh, I've already had them spoiled, so don't worry. I looked them up because everyone was like, "Oh my god, this part in Wolfenstein 2," and I was like, "Well, now I have to look it up and go." Yeah,
that's not even the part we're talking about.
Yeah. No, I know the part. But I'm not gonna. I do. But I'm not gonna. I don't want to talk more about it because I don't want to spoil anybody that is either playing it now or sort of wants to go into it too blind. So.
Oh man, that game's so good.
That's all I've been playing this week. So let's take a break. Killing Nazis makes me thirsty.
Wait, so how far did you go into like the concentration camp to go rescue that dude?
In Wolfenstein?
Yeah.
No, I just landed in. I rescued Fergus, and we escaped the Nazis, and I just got into the resistance camp.
Oh, so you just met the dude with the half caved in head?
Yeah.
The Haas brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did really like when he met Carolyn again.
Yes.
How they're trading like war injuries or trying to one up each other. I thought that was
cool. I love Carolyn. She's like one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. I really like Anya. I think she's a pretty cool character.
I see. The thing with Carolyn, man, you need to finish this game.
I know.
You can talk.
I know.
Because, like, man, her you can't talk about any of this shit.
I know, and ironically, Wolf 1 is not the one I've gotten spoiled on, except for some of the moon stuff near the end. Wolf 2 is the one I've gotten spoiled on. I have spoiled myself, to be clear.
Well, I can only imagine going through it. They did what?
Yeah.
And you're like, click, click, click. Son of a what?
Yeah, that was me reading some of the Wolf 2 articles where I'm like, oh, okay, they're going to talk about the what?
Like, there's one moment in Wolf which I was like, okay, I didn't think they were going to go there, and another one which I literally put my controller down and I was like, holy fuck, are they actually doing what I think they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, they did it. And my wife was sitting next to me and was like, what the hell is going on over there? You're shouting? It's like, yes, because they're doing something I never expected them to do.
Keep it down, Wolfenstein 2 is really good.
Oh.
All right, let's see what Knob sent us here. Oh, you sent us a picture, and it's not loading?
Oh, so yeah, I attached a picture of Daisy.
Ah. There we go. Daisy looks pretty cool.
I can't see it.
That's a great character. Like, she actually, out of all the characters, like, the Indian archer chick is pretty okay, even though she's kind of pompous. But this one is just the best.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, anyone need to take a potty break?
I'm getting there, but I can wait till the end of the show.
I need some water. I'll be back.
Alright. Oh, so tired.
Oh, I do believe I never actually showed this on the show before.
What is that?
That is Finn Balor.
What's that from? Oh, WWE.
Yes. He is a wrestler who usually during pay-per-views, he only does it for the big shows. He has an inner demon. And that is his inner demon outfit, and they remix his music fucking fantastically. He is like one of my favorite wrestlers because he's like 5'11", and he's one of the biggest wrestlers in the world.
Huh.
Same with AJ Styles. Tiny little men, huge personalities.
I accidentally ran across an episode of Total Divas the other day. I was like, I don't know what this show is. Oh, it's about wrestling. Oh, it's about the wrestling ladies. All right.
It's a quote-unquote reality show.
Yeah.
Which the two head stars in it are the Bella twins, I believe.
I don't know. I watched about 15 minutes. I went, that seems fine.
Yeah.
I don't have this like visceral hate for reality TV that a lot of people have. I see it and I sort of go, yeah, okay, that's fine.
To be honest, that still bothers me because it's called Divas.
Yeah.
Which it took two women wrestlers who will never get credit for it, basically coming in and putting on wrestling matches rather than being what you probably saw of women in wrestling in the 90s, which is the
like arm candy.
Yeah, arm candy meat market kind of thing. And like, these two women.
It's a swimsuit match. Whoa.
Mm-hmm. And Paige, AJ Lee, and I can't remember who the other one was. Basically, they all just decided, let's actually wrestle.
Right.
Let's not be meat market. Let's be wrestlers.
Right.
And then they inspired 4 women who were in like the training development program. Mm-hmm. But because Paige is back in their good books a little bit, but AJ Lee basically is in WWE's bad books, so she'll never get credit for being part of this.
Never in the Hall of Fame. Always forgotten.
Exactly. And they inspired these 4 women: Charlotte Flair, Bayley, I can't even remember the other 2. Sasha Banks, and who was the other one? I think it might have been Natalya Hart. Mm-hmm. They got called the 4 Horsewomen because in the developmental league they turned women's wrestling into this huge deal.
Nice.
And they changed it from the Divas division to the women's division again.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, poor AJ Lee, never get credit for her.
Yeah.
Also, doesn't help that she is CM Punk's wife.
So like double black mark on that one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like pro wrestling. I have nobody to talk to about it.
Yeah. It's a shame Giant Bomb doesn't do their podcast.
I love their fucking show so much. It's like, I know Chuck and Harlow are fans, but I think the problem I have is I'm such a deep dive fan that I'm into all the backstage politics and bullshit as well. Whereas I think Chuck and Harlow are more top level fans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, I love hearing who's a fucking dirty politician who deliberately gets people like bad names and bad reps because they're fucking egomaniacs. Hi, Triple H, how are you doing?
Yeah, I've always found wrestling really interesting, but whenever I try and watch it, it's just nothing that really grabs me.
For me, it was a style. Like, in the 90s, I loved the personalities. When I was younger, I loved the big characters. Kane, The Undertaker, Austin, The Rock. As I got older, I preferred the actual wrestling to the characters. So I started to get into people like CM Punk, AJ Styles, because they were fantastic wrestlers. Like, they could put on a match and you would believe that these people are hurting you, because most likely they probably are.
Oh, yeah. They get the shit beat out of them. Like, it's not... Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of it is... a lot of the drama is staged. Yeah, yes. I definitely don't want to use the word fake, because like they get the shit beat out of them. It's not like, oh, it landed on a pillow, oh, my head, ooh. It's like, no, that stuff still hurts.
Well, there's Daniel Bryant is and he's retired now.
The one with the beard.
Yes, back when he was called Bryan Danielson in Ring of Honor. He got into a match with somebody and they chopped each other so much that his chest blistered and started bleeding because they were chopping each other so hard.
Jeez.
It's like, tell me that's fake. Yeah. Please.
Welcome back, Knobs.
So I heard chopping chest and bleeding?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Pro wrestling talk.
We were talking about ICP's wrestling videos they put out in the aughts.
Yeah, with the light bulbs getting smashed over everybody's head and shit.
I think I still have one of those on VHS. I don't remember what they called them.
You know what's really
backyard
terrible?
Wrestling?
Yes. No, that was the game they were in.
You know what's fucking terrible? That league still exists today. One of them does. It's called CZW, and I hate it.
Oh man, what was that? Oh, of course there's a Wikipedia page for the Professional Wrestling Clear of the Insane Clown Posse.
Yep, they...
Stranglemania. There it is.
There you go. They were in WWE. They did a concert at a WWE event in Madison Square Garden.
Yep. ICP's big, man.
Mm-hmm.
ICP's still big.
Juggalos.
Yeah, I have the Stranglemania VHS. You can buy it on Amazon right now for $14.
40 cents.
No, I take that back. $100.
Oof.
Like most ICP stuff during that time, a lot of that stuff was rare because they made like 200 of them.
Yeah.
All right, ready to start whenever you guys are.
Already. Oh, if Agent's in chat, which I know I've seen his fucking name in chat, are you happy with the Vape Now Punk? With the actual smoke producing instead?
He wants you to look like a dragon.
Mm-hmm. He gave me crap once because my vape didn't produce any smoke.
Click, 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 click. My favorite thing is when people come into chat and go like, "Oh my god, he's vaping. Oh, it's the worst." It's like, just
the
go.
best. It's the best thing about Mixer as well, because Mixer keeps your chat history from the last time. Mm-hmm. So for 2 weeks running, we had the 1 week where you banned a bunch of people, and one was like, "Stop vaping, you F word," blah 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 blah. And then the next week we loaded up, and the first person to chat in Mixer was like, "Talk smack about vaping one more time."
I was just like,
Jesus, that was a week ago.
Guys, just waiting for us to go live again. Actually, that doesn't even make any sense.
Where is all this chat at? Because I just watch Twitch.
Oh, usually it's on Mixer. We get very, very few comments from Mixer. But like back to back, it was someone who was like, "Oh my god, vaping gross," so I banned them because just go away. And then the next week, someone was like, "Talk crap about vaping one more time." It's like we weren't. You were, which is why I banned whoever it was, and now you.
Yep, because the chat on Mixer stays all the time.
It's funny. I only remember one person saying something about me chewing on the show, but
yeah,
that's because chewing is accepted. If I was sitting here smoking, they'd be fine with it.
I think vaping is accepted too, as long as you're not a D and you're not like, "Oh, it's watermelon," and like right in somebody's face.
I believe mine is called Goosebumps this week.
Nobody really. I don't think anybody legitimately cares that much. And if you do, like, go get a hobby.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If I was made of money, I would totally get that Dragon Ball tank. So I'd just have a little Dragon Ball sitting on the top here.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Except it's like $60.
Yeah.
Okay.
You buy a game for that.
Mm-hmm.
You buy a game where you kill Nazis for that.
3 the way. I fucking buy games on sale.
Yeah. Actually, I did get all 3 Wolfenstein games for like $40. So
it's awesome. I am so happy you're playing that game because like I went into a thing. I was like, oh great, how bad could this be?
Right, another Wolfenstein game. It's really good.
It shocked me almost at every turn.
Well, I need something to palate cleanse after Chaos Child, and the next visual novels I'm going to play is I'm going to start the Danganronpa series, which are going to be a little bit intense. So I sort of needed something way different in between. And Wolfenstein and Telltale Batman are sort of fitting the bill pretty nicely.
Well, it's kind of crazy. Like I didn't expect the Wolfenstein game to have any weight to it, and that game is. That game doesn't pull any punches.
Who does the voice acting for that?
If it's the guy who does Marcus, I'll be amazed.
Because whoever voices BJ is so good.
Oh, and the writing captures that internal monologue so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian Bloom. What was he in?
I don't know who he is, but
I
like one thing I love about Wolf 1, and it happens a little bit in 2, is the the jump from train of thought to train of thought, like his inner monologue is like one sentence about one thing and then a jump to a different subject and then back to the original one again. It's like it's very human processing train of thought kind of way.
Yeah, I think I really fell in love with it when he wasn't really in a coma, but he's just sitting there in the
he's
insane
recovering.
asylum.
Yeah,
And you know, seasons are passing, and God, it's so good. All right, so Brian Bloom, who does BJ Blazkowicz, was Captain America in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. He is Matt Horner in StarCraft 2. He is Aquaman in Lego Dimensions. That's pretty great. He was a voice in Mad Max, the game, but it doesn't say who.
well, there's only like 3 named characters in there.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's Varric in Dragon Age Inquisition. Interesting.
Wait, Varric, which one's Varric?
Hold on.
Is he the guy? Is he the elf with all the
It
stuff?
might be. Oh no, Varric is the dwarf with the
He's the storyteller.
yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a yeah. Okay, he is that voice. Okay. He is Jess in Sunset Overdrive.
Is that the main character?
Dude, I don't know. Middle Earth, Shadow and Mordor, Nemesis orcs.
Ha!
Oh man, that game's good.
Saints Row the Fourth, the voices of Virtual Steelport. All right. Yeah. Bunch of
What's
other
Hellblade
stuff.
on Musum?
Oh yeah, I gotta play Hellblade too. Crap.
What is that on?
Everything, I believe.
Okay. Because I've heard a lot of people talking really good stuff about that.
Let's look. I think it's everything. I know it's on PS4 and Windows for sure. Did they come out with an Xbox One version? Not yet. It's UE4, so I'm assuming they will. The thing is, they are self-publishing it, and their team is way smaller than it was before.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it on one of Jim Sterling's videos.
Is this a sequel to Heavenly Blade or Heavenly Sword?
No, but it's the same team.
Meaning you giant nerd.
Okay. Tangent over.
What were we talking about?
You in the intro for the next section.
Just a bunch of video games for nerds.
Alright, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for December 4th, 2017. Dead Rising 4, Frank's Big Package for the PlayStation 4.
This is, I just looked this up beforehand. It is Dead Rising 4 plus all the DLC, plus all the extra stuff, and a new episode where it's like some Capcom fan service thing. So it's Frank's complete package. Wink. Yeah,
grown. So we're not getting any of that stuff on the Xbox One?
Xbox One already has all that stuff, I think, except for the new Capcom thing. It was sort of worded like, you know, it's over here for now. It'll probably scoot over to Xbox One, you know, in a month or two.
All right. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition for the PlayStation 4.
I'm so excited. I got such a good deal on that. I think I'm paying $10 for it.
Nice.
Another 2017 hit that I have no time to play. And I didn't think that the DLC they came out with was like the Frozen Wilds or something was long. It's like another 15 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
So,
spoiler alert, the Frozen Wilds has loot boxes in it.
Cool. Not for microtransactions, though, so that's a little less bad.
Oh, well, it's a thing.
Yeah.
And this is the Police for the Switch.
And it's actually finally coming out now, or it's coming out on physical edition, I'm not sure.
And it has loot crates.
Yep.
You need to fire all the Black Ops and buy 5 loot crates. Alright, let's move on to news stories. Hot rumor coming out, Assassin's Creed Rogue might be getting a remake for PS4 and Xbox One. 3 Italian retailers open listings for this game, and they're all still up. So,
yep. Yes, please. 100%. Everything I saw about that game made me interested in it.
These are side scrollers?
No, it's the one that was out on 360.
Yeah, it was the 360 one they released at the same time as Unity, because Unity was next gen only, and Rogue was last gen only.
I thought it came out as Black Flag. No, yeah, you're right. Unity was the same. Yeah, it was sort of like, here's this brand new one on PS4 and Xbox One, and here's one on the 360, and everyone's like, What? And the common review was, Unity is not great. Rogue is really good and might be one of the best.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm hoping that they use this and release this next fall and do another 2-year cycle.
Sure, that'd be alright.
Yep.
Although the stuff that I'm reading about Origins is crazy, where they're saying like, 5% of people have beaten the world bosses, and I was like, the what now?
Oh yeah, it's
every week a new boss shows up.
Yeah, it's timed events where it's the old Egyptian gods.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Assassin's Creed Origins is pretty cool. I'll be able to play it in about 5 to 7 years.
Yep.
It'd be like my Marvel movie watching. I'll be like 3 behind everybody else. Like, hey, Guardians of the Galaxy was really good. You're like, yeah, man, okay. I got Thanos over here. And last but not least, pour one out for Demon's Souls. The online features of that are going to be turned off now 9 years after it has unveiled.
That's a good run.
Yeah, we were talking about something the other day where it's sort of like, it was Marvel Heroes. Where it's like, if this game had been around for a decade, then if it would shut down, we would have been saying, all right, I had a good run, that was fine. Demon's Souls had a really good run. You can still play the game, to be clear. It's just like the Wandering Phantoms, the online, the co-op and the invasions, the hint messages. None of that stuff is going to work anymore. First off, the hint message is not working anymore. It's kind of a big bummer, because that was a lot of fun.
Yep.
But you can still play Demon's Souls, which is still a really good game.
Yes, it is.
Treasure off this cliff.
Yes. Oh no, it was death! Ah. Crap. Alright, let's move on to questions. The first one is from, he says either Cerebro or Cerebro, because I was calling him the wrong thing for about a year. Says, hi guys, loving the new remastered theme song. Loving it. Thank you. Thank you to Musum again for writing us some new music. What are your thoughts on Destiny 2 lowering XP for players to delay their progression? Are we discussing it, or is it Bungie can do no wrong in your eyes? Don't mean to be rude, but I know you guys are fans of Destiny, but this is a real douchey move on their part. Keep up the good work, Cerebro or Cerebro. It is a real douchey move on their part. And I mostly... Part of what I want to do in news stories, for anybody that maybe hasn't listened for a while... I really don't like to muckrake in news stories. I think there are a lot of pundits out there that, we were talking about Jim Sterling, that do it better and that's their specialty. I don't feel like that's the specialty of the show. And I'm really pissed off at Destiny 2 in general.
Yep.
So the XP thing, their response, and then the response to that response has all been really unacceptable. And
I'm sorry, but our system is currently not working as intended. No, you got caught. That's exactly what was not intended.
So for anyone that doesn't know, to recap really quickly, unlike Destiny 1, Destiny 2, when you level up past the level cap, you get a bright engram. You take it to the place where you spend real money to get loot boxes. Hooray! And you decrypt that into some of the stuff that's in those loot boxes. That's fine. What wasn't fine is the longer you'd play content like public events out in the world, the less and less XP you would get. The real shady part is it would show you, like at the beginning, let's say you'd get 9,500 XP for completing a heroic public event. It would fill up this much of the bar. Let's say it's 1.5 inches. by the time you'd play for an hour or so, it would still say, oh, you got 9,500 experience, but fill up like 3 pixels worth. And thankfully to the Destiny community, especially some guys over the subreddit, they started doing the math using the externally available API and said, yeah, that's not actually the XP you're giving us. You're giving us 60 to 75% less than that. You're just lying about it. So then Bungie went, you know, we're not happy about it either. System's not working great. We already fixed it. And it's like, wait a minute. You're the company that made this thing. You made the choice to say you get less XP, and it's not that hard to extrapolate and say, well, if I get less XP over time, I get less bright engrams, which means if I want to keep getting those, I just have to start buying loot boxes. It's perfect. So I think that sucks. I think the response sucks. I think loot boxes in that game for real money suck. I think Destiny 2 has shown itself over its very short lifespan to be a bad game. And remember, this is coming from the guy that played 1,600 hours on one character in Destiny 1.
Yep.
They made their mistakes in Destiny 1. They had the benefit of the doubt. And to take a game that was legitimately very good by the end of those first 3 years, strip out 75% of it, and replace much of those systems with stuff they didn't need to replace it with, like everything giving you tokens, and then you just turn those into vendors that then just spit you out something random. I think the most egregious example of that is you don't get drops in the raid. You get tokens, and you bring those tokens to the raid vendor, and the raid vendor spits out something for you.
That's not cool.
Even Knobs knows. Knobs has never run a raid in his life.
That's not cool. Like, I mean, look what Borderlands.
In the raid.
I mean, I think what Borderlands did was wrong when they started patching out the
exploits.
The exploits.
Yeah, famously the B.
No, the flesh stick.
Well, that flesh stick too. Yeah, like one of my biggest problems is Destiny 2 is a game, and furthermore, we haven't gotten any patches for weapon balancing for the entire. And they said, oh well, it's going to come with the expansion. No, guys, come on! Like,
if you have a competitive aspect to your game and and this late after the release you still haven't balanced the weapons,
yep,
screw you.
Yeah,
I ain't playing your competitive game. I ain't playing your game. Period. I haven't for weeks.
And I mean,
because I don't desire it.
You saw how many times in Destiny 1 the meta changed, where it's like, now hand cannons are great, and this one, all right, we'll bat those down. I understand they don't want to do that again, but for most people there are 2 guns that are really easy to get because guns don't have random rolls on them anymore, that they rule the Crucible now. And they have for months. And the answer was, wait until December 5th when the expansion comes out. I'm just not going to play.
Yeah.
That's as far as Bungie not doing any wrong, Bungie's pretty egregious. I'm sorry.
Bungie has always been terrible at fixing their mistakes, and they've always been terrible at communicating. Ever since they've opened, they cannot, either they don't communicate at all, or when they come out and they communicate, they're like try to be cute about it, and they try and make a joke where it's like, oh, the community, we've heard you in the community. It's like, shut up, fix the problem. Don't be cute. Don't like come out with a weekly update where it's like, oh, you know, we're working hard behind the scenes. Hey man, I don't know that. Like, they finally did the right thing with Destiny 2 where it's like, here are the top things we're working on. This is the top thing in our backlog that we're working on right now. Here's the estimated delivery date. We will keep you up to date. That's it.
Yeah, that's all you're going to say.
If it misses it, that's fine. Just let us know, all right, it's taking us a little bit longer to work on it. Cool. But like we were talking about in the pre-show with Moon Piranaya's favorite publishing house, Nicholas, the worst part is when you have consumers that are excited for your product and you don't say anything.
Yep.
Because I don't even know what to imagine at that point. So yeah, Destiny 2 is not a great game. And that really sucks, and that really hurts me, because nobody believed me when I said Destiny 1 ended up to be a really great game. That ship had already sailed, and most people were once bitten, twice shy, understandably. And I thought, man, Destiny 2 is going to be great. Here's their chance to take all of that stuff and plop it in a new game, and people can have a second chance, and they just removed all of it.
They could have hit the ground running. They didn't hit the ground running. They hit the ground, like, slumped over with the weight of loot boxes on their back.
A bunch of their limbs missing. Like, one of their biggest features of this first expansion was Heroic Strike playlist is back. And they expected everyone to be like, yeah, woohoo, that's great. And everyone was like, yeah, should have been in there day one.
Mm-hmm.
What, do you want a cookie? Like, and I think they're not used to their fan base being like, that's not good enough.
Like, as much as I think them going multi-platform, they're hitting a much wider market than they have previously.
Yep.
And as much as I hate to use the term, the Xbox fanboys, they always stood behind Bungie no matter what, rain or shine, because they were an Xbox exclusive developer.
Right.
Yep.
You won't get that in the year 2017 onwards. You will not ever get that, I think, because we're so fed up of seeing exclusivity, non-exclusivity, whatever the game is. You're so fed up of being kicked down over and over and over again by every single publisher and developer, it feels like.
Yep.
That you're not going to get praised or applauded for doing something positive anymore. It's why wasn't it there earlier?
Well, it's like at your job. You don't get praised for doing your job.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you get a paycheck. Like, Bungie, they don't get praised for putting basic features in their game in 2017. That's what we expect. Do your job. Yep.
It's disheartening, the fact that again, something that Jim Sterling points out to me was the interview that the Monster Hunter World guy did with Kotaku, where, for starters, this is Capcom. I'm amazed I'm about to compliment a Capcom team.
Right.
Step number one. But when asked about microtransactions and loot boxes, he said, no, we have a loot system in the game. Why would we add something?
Yeah, they said, like, our loot boxes are you killing an enemy and getting loot from them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, man.
They said the definition of loot.
Yeah.
And him saying, why would we disassociate you with the actual act of playing the game by allowing you to skip that whole process? It minimizes the actual gameplay loop, and because then you can just say, oh yeah, I bought it, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think there's no better example of loot boxes having the capability of destroying the very core of a game than if you were to put them in Monster Hunter. Like, if you could just buy an armor and weapons set from loot boxes, you're cutting out the actual reason to play that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the full loop of that game it's just like Diablo, where it's like, I'm going to fight some bosses, I'm going to get a little bit better stuff to fight a little bit better and a little bit harder, and, so on and so forth. But,
yeah.
Oh, man. Get me worked up about Destiny 2 again.
It's the crutch of the game.
Yeah. It's like Diablo 3. It is the game. No one's playing Diablo 3 for the story. Oh my god, Diablo's back. We got rid of him. Or did we? I'll see you in Diablo 4. Diablo's back. No, we got rid of him this. Did we? Alright, moving on. Next email from Chino. Hey guys, I've got a couple questions I've been thinking about. I hear you guys talking a lot about Prey, but does the game have anything to do with the Prey game from 2006 on 360? Thankfully, no. Just the name.
Yep.
God, that game is so good.
To be honest, that aspect of it feels like this game is incredible, but we need to put a name on it to make it sell. I think they hate it by calling it Prey.
What name do we have? Oh, Prey. And everyone's behind them like, no, don't put Prey. No, stop. Don't put Prey on it. Anything else.
I hate the fact that they called that Prey. They called it anything else, and it still would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But it does feel like let's staple this on and hope it sells a couple more units, not realizing it probably put more people off than an original IP would have.
Prey since, Knobs, you'll have to remind me, since 1994?
Yeah, 1994 that game was announced. It was vaporware until it finally came out in 2006.
A 12-year vaporware. And it was if anyone thinks Duke Nukem Forever was a joke, Prey was an even bigger one, because Prey looked so good when it was announced. Duke Nukem Forever didn't look good for a really long time.
I thought it looked great if it had came out with that original build engine sequel.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, that's when it, like, you gotta strike when the iron's hot.
Yeah. Not a decade later.
And 9 engines later.
And stupid gearbox. Also, I've read that Demon's Souls servers are shutting down. Boston, would you ever consider replaying that game again? I remember you saying you got all the way to the False King and he did his Soul Sucker move on you where he's taking your soul levels away and then you tapped out. You're so close to the end. I don't think I have it in me.
No. I mean, firstly, I hate that boss. That boss is the worst boss in all video games, period.
I'm fairly sure it's optional, but I think everyone stumbles into it where I did, where I was like, oh, another boss. I'm doing the what now? Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
But yeah, I think, to be honest, like, I would love to go back and play it, but I think it's too dated at this point. I've got Dark Souls 3 waiting to be played, and apparently that's an amalgamation of the best from the series, so I'll take that over going back to the original.
Honestly, for me, it's like, I'm so tired all the time. I think it's like a concentration thing. Like, can I keep my laser focus on this game for like a 2-hour sitting just to not die to a skeleton that pops out of a barrel?
Yeah. Or a rock that gets dropped on your head.
Barrel skeletons are just the worst.
Got me every time in that stupid first level. Hey, this room looks clear. Nope, barrel skeleton.
Yep.
Thanks, buddy. See you next time. Get me for the next
it's like
5 runs.
Zoolander jumping out of the coal mine. Surprise!
The black lung pop. Last question. Any other games where you guys tapped out near the end of a game? Love listening to you guys. Keep it up. Oh boy.
No.
Otagi 2.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I could not beat that second to last boss.
That game was tough.
Yes.
I feel
not only you had 6 different warriors that played completely different from each other.
Yeah. I think I do this a lot with JRPGs where like I do so much of the side quest stuff. Like as soon as it's like, all right, we're gonna go in the final dungeon, I'm like, cool. Hang out like a couple weeks. I'm gonna do all this other collection stuff, and then I just get burnt out. I'm like, well, I'll finish it later.
The Last Remnant. I was literally on the last boss.
I was gonna say I feel like that's a little bit different, but you had to tap out because the game was interestingly designed.
Right. The system worked so counterintuitively to how you would expect every JRPG I've ever played. You ground out, you got to the point where you had everything done, and then you played for another 3 or 4 hours just so you could crush the last boss.
Yep.
Apparently by me doing that made him impossible.
I'm trying to see what else this guy did. Oh. Okay. He made a lot of other Saga games, so yeah, that makes a lot of sense why Last Remnant was interestingly designed. Man. What else? I feel like nowadays I usually get like I have the reverse problem. I get an hour into a game and be like, man, that's really good. I gotta finish this other game first, though. And then I never do. The Doom problem.
Yeah. My problem is I'm deliciously stubborn. Like, I refuse to be beaten. Like, be it a game, a movie, a TV show. I watched 2.5 seasons of Rick and Morty, despite the fact that I really don't like that show. And I will finish that 3rd season. I think you need
to put a marketing spin on it. You're just giving it all of the chances. You're dedicated.
It's the same reason why I like to explain why I have read the Twilight books. Because if you're gonna insult something, if you're gonna say it's not good, do your research, play it, watch it, experience it, read it, do whatever. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, I do not like the Twilight books.
Not in
and when people ask me why, I have a reason.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you should have an informed position.
Yep.
Without
informed opinions are the best ones.
Yeah. So be it no matter
informed
what it is.
Opinion should be the only one.
Yeah. Optimally. All right, T-Bomb Rocks in Discord asks, with some form of loot box or crate being added to more and more games, how would you guys like to see the implementation work going forward? Take out the obvious answer of cosmetics.
Dead simple. If you have them in, don't charge me for your game. Problem solved.
Sure.
No, it needs to be earned with time, not money.
Yeah, I think when I look at loot boxes, I think my perfect situation is Marvel Puzzle Quest, honestly, because for me, you can either spend for hero points specifically. So for anyone that hasn't played it, hero points expand your roster. You can play and get hero points, and if you play the daily quests, you'll get 10 a day, and maybe it takes you 800 to get a new slot. You'll just get it by playing it. Or like us, you can go for the VIP pass, and you get them a little bit faster. Or
you can be like Nubs.
Yeah, you can spend real world money on them and get them instantly. And I feel like those are the systems I want. Where if I'm going to be able to earn this, if I'm not going to pay, I'll earn it a little bit slowly. I don't want it to be the sort of thing where I don't want it to be Need for Speed Payback, where it's nearly impossible for you to play the game regularly and progress. I should be able to play it on a regular basis at a sane pace and be able to progress. If you're going to gate my progression, that's when the loot boxes start to turn nasty. If you want to say, oh, you can get these smoke effects or under lighting for your car for $5, you can buy this pack of smoke effects. It's fine.
As long as that rate of unlock is reasonable.
Yeah.
I think Marvel Puzzle Quest is unreasonable, which is why I've dumped money into it.
Right.
Because I think you're not earning enough stuff, especially once you get your roster up in 100.
Yeah.
Which is dumb. But it keeps giving you all this stuff. You want to see it, you want to play with the cover, and want to make everything work.
Right.
But leveling that up, like right now, like I play through the event, I play through the Deadpool daily, and at most I'm earning 20,000 ISO.
Mm-hmm.
I can't upgrade anybody with 20,000 ISO.
Right.
Let alone earning maybe 100 credits a day for hero points. That'd be 10 days before another cover. Like that's too much time.
Well, and I think where I land on the other side of the fence because I don't have any money. So a free-to-play game that doles that out in increments like that, I just have 10 days until I can add another slot. I can do that.
Well, I think that should be closer to 5 days. I think it should be twice as fast as what it is.
Sure. And I think that has to be the hard balancing act for the developers, though, because obviously buying that stuff in-game is a huge revenue source, especially with the game being free. So you have to balance, how do we fund the game versus being able to get players a good experience. But I think on the other end of the spectrum, like Moon was saying, I don't want to spend $60 that for me now, like I'm back to, being a kid where it's like I'll maybe get a new game unless it's on super sale like Black Friday where I scooped up a bunch of cheap stuff. Or it's like, I get one $60 game twice a year, maybe. I don't want to spend my $60 that I don't really have on a treat for a game that needs me to spend more money in it just to play it, especially for a single-player game. Like, I need to be able to spend that $60 and not feel bad about the expectation being I get a full game.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is even like removing season passes.
Yeah, I think a big issue for me, like what people need to realize as well, is this is not just a case of you, like a one-stop solution for everybody. Because at the end of the day, is we are all pretty little unique snowflakes. My wife will tell you I am probably the most patient person she's ever met. I played Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, rest in peace iPhone, for probably 4 years. I think that game has been out. I never once spent a cent into it, and I was still more powerful than a lot of people I knew who sunk money into it because I'd been playing it as long as I had.
Right.
Because I'm willing to wait. I'm very, very patient. I've got no problem. This is how you can tell Need for Speed Payback is particularly egregious if it's managed to annoy me.
Right.
But I am willing to wait and put the time in to get that extra distance. I do it with free-to-play games all the time. I do it with games that are quote-unquote grindy. I'm fine putting the extra time in to get to the same end result as somebody who doesn't want to wait that long. So a game to me, if it's got microtransactions in, it's completely different to a game. To Nobs, for example, Gears of War 4 is a prime example. Nobs said, I believe, last week that he was relatively okay with the Gears of War 4 box transitions. I am not. I do not like that system at all because I didn't get the big edition, so I don't get to see the airdrops that everybody else is getting. I don't get 30 card packs every couple of months. Every single card pack I have in that game, I've had to earn through putting time into it.
Right.
And I'm okay doing that because I enjoy playing the game.
I couldn't tell you the last time I got an airdrop.
But you know what I mean? You've had airdrops. You got, I think, one when the game came out.
That's not the system. I mean, the system I'm talking about is like you earn enough coins in that game that you are continually able to unlock things.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is I don't like the fact that you can pay for those cards because that feels like it's taking advantage of people who don't have the patience for it. It's like, I mean, let alone trying to explain the whole system to Donnie was quite fun. But
he's still scrapping legendary stuff, by the way.
Yeah, why am I not surprised? But that's one of those systems where it's like, why is this in here? It's in there because it wants to promote the microtransactions. It wants people to spend money. And people like me who've got no problem, like, maybe not recently based on how much Nobs has been playing it recently, but at one time I had I think I put probably about 20 more hours than Nobs had into the game. And that was me playing Horde mode consistently by myself with randoms. So I could try and keep up with everybody else who we would like, because I think pretty much most of the Monday Night Game Night crew had got the Season Pass edition. So I was playing it by myself with randos while everybody else was in work, so I could try and stay on the same level as you guys. Right. Like, that's where I feel like it feels a little bit naughty to have that kind of thing in there. And if it's in there, take out the option to pay for it. If I'm paying $60 for a game, don't basically charge me for loot boxes. Put that system in, no problem with that. Make it free.
This reminds me, though, of the one time I was actually pretty happy that a game had, like, buy all the stuff available option, was Split Second. And Nobs will probably remember this. Like, you could see people that bought the game and then spent like $20 on all the cars, went all the way to the right and picked the fastest one, and was just uncontrollable. Because Split Second did a really great thing of, like, each car is more and more powerful, and you get used to each car, and by the time you get to the end one, it's squirrely, but you know how to control it because you're used to that power. And watching these people pick this first one and just like fishtailing on the course was just sort of like, you know what? Not only did they get money, now you can't even play the game. This is amazing.
Right. Yeah, it was probably the best way to nerf someone is put them in the best car in the game.
Yeah. Until you land, like, that's one of those games where you need the progression to get the skill to be able to play. It's the exact same with Burnout Paradise. Like, Burnout Paradise, if you go in there and your first car is the Formula 1 car, which is like one of the fastest cars in the game, you're going to hit everything. Yeah. You're going to come dead last because you're not going to be able to see a thing.
Well, I mean, even with, especially the split second analogy was the fastest car in the game wasn't the best car.
Right.
It was I think the third or fourth one back was the most effective car for grinding out the power play.
Yeah.
Yep.
Split second. All right, let's move on to his second question. So, he says, you've just been promoted to CEO of these 4 large companies. Lay out your roadmap of what you do for the next 2 years with each company. Let's start off with EA.
Wow, I don't even know where to start.
The problem is, like, the problem has always been with EA. They make good games, and they screw up something at the end. Like, Battlefront 2 is a good game. You just put the bad cap on the end of it.
But that's the problem. Is these in general with every single game, these negatives almost always come from the publisher.
Right.
99% of the time, it's not the devs making these decisions; it's the publisher. And the problem with if you become a CEO, sorry to be really reductive about the question here, but if you become a CEO of one of these companies, and you say, let's say you're the CEO of EA, Star Wars Battlefront 2, let's see, what are we going to do? I know, let's make it free. Right. Let's have the microtransactions in and have it for free. It can be on every single Xbox, every single PlayStation, every single PC. Everyone who has a way to play it has accessibility to this. You've got the biggest audience you've ever had in your life. We'll include the microtransactions in there. I
think the headline you would say the next day is EA CEO forced out by the board of EA.
Yep. Exactly.
They're in such a bad position.
That's the problem. I mean, it's a problem with being, maybe take it private. I mean, sure. that's the only way to really get any artistic freedom without being beholden to shareholders. Like, because that's what it is. I mean, it's a business, and they're going to go to the model. It's going to make them the biggest ROI that they have.
Yeah, you go onto a shareholders call with the investors, and you say, "I'm going to increase profits by 50% this year by making one small change," and they go, "Great. Let's do 75 the next year." I think my answer to this would be foster indies again and focus on the Switch with those independent games. I think those are... I think you could probably pick up a couple in the short term, put out a couple of them on store shelves. People are really hungry for Switch games. Indies are doing really, really well on the Switch, and I think if you could foster some of that stuff on a long enough timeline and market them appropriately and put them out on every 3 months you're coming out with a hot new, very well marketed indie in a box on Walmart shelves for the Switch, I think you could do secretly pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my first order would probably be what series needs a roadmap for the future, like your Mass Effect games, and not give up on the game.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because it's sold well enough, it should not be dead.
Right.
Yeah.
All the problems that are in that game are fixable.
Yep.
Yeah, I guarantee you Battlefront franchise is not going to be dead.
No, Star Wars is too rich of a vein to mine right now.
But I mean, that's the problem though. Is like if you were to go into any corporation, any whatever, and you were to say to these people, "You've got a multi-platform game, make it free to play, and have the microtransactions in." You could sell that to people so easy by saying you will have the biggest market share you can possibly have with this one game.
Yep.
They still won't go for it because they know they can, rather than have 20 million people playing the game, they would rather, and maybe 10% of that paying, and maybe 2% of that paying a ton of money.
Right.
They know they can hit 5 million or 4 million or 3 million at $60 a pop and get the additional...
Yeah, and then have the gravy on top. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The next company you're CEO of is Microsoft. I think this one is probably going to be pretty easy between the three of us. Put out games.
Yep.
That's your focus for the next 2 years.
Speaking of investing,
lock down some studio. Get Microsoft Studios back up and running. Get them to put out some content.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't even have to be exclusive. Like I think Sony has had a really good year for exclusives, but I don't think that means that it's perfect for every platform. Just put some stuff out. It doesn't have. I mean, Cuphead did pretty well on Xbox One and PC. It can be indies, it can be small games, it can be big games. Just put anything out. 2017 was a quiet year on the Xbox One.
I would also say foster that relationship with the Japanese developers, because it doesn't matter if your console is not selling over there. Get a team, stick them in Japan and just have them helping all of the developers in the Japanese locations. There's no reason why probably at least maybe 6 or 7 of the exclusives that have hit Sony this year should have come out on the Xbox One. There's no reason for them not to, other than the fact that they've got no contact with Microsoft.
Yeah.
Just get 10 people, set them up in Japan, and
start
have
throwing
them,
money at them.
Yeah, and have them go to all the other studios.
The unfortunate part about 2017 is there have been a lot of Japanese games that have been surprise hits, like Yakuza 0, Nier Automata. You know, a lot of these games are sort of like, okay, it's a weird Japanese game. Wait, it's the best. You know, it's sort of like, oh, not expecting that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I say that from a selfish matter, though, because I don't have a PS4 and I want to play all of these games. I just can't.
Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, they'd come out for everything, and that'd be great. But
and there's no reason, there's no limitation on why any of those games could not be out on Xbox One.
Right. Unless Sony is really ponying up a lot of money, but for something like Nier Automata, I don't think they were. From Yakuza 0, I don't think Sega would do that.
Neo. Definitely not for Neo.
No.
Oh, no. Well, if Itagaki was there, Neo, we would have had Neo.
Yeah, exactly. You're now CEO of Nintendo.
Keep doing what I'm doing.
Keep the bus on the road, and I think in the latter half of 2018, have a banner game the size of Breath of the Wild out. That's going to keep people engaged for a good amount of time.
No, I would think they would need 2 a year.
Optimally, yeah, you'd have like your beginning of the year and you could have your end of the year. I think...
Like a spring and a fall game.
Yeah, and I think the thing that Nintendo needs to keep in mind is they have to prevent that Nintendo gap. They've done it so well on Switch. Like, you didn't get a Mario game at launch; you got it 3 or 4 months into the console's life cycle. I don't expect them to keep up, a big game every month for the rest of the console's life cycle. If they do, it's going to be the best-selling console of all time. But like, you need to have, like Knob said, those 2 tentpole releases every game. Probably fall 2018 in a perfect world is going to be the Switch Pokemon game. Gotta have something good, like put another Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker out on the Switch. That did really well for the Wii U, but you can't have no games. You can't have no big games for an entire year.
Right, yeah. And then you're almost in the boat that Microsoft is in.
Yeah.
Like, I found it astonishing when I was going through the games I was playing. I was going through what I played this year. I played more games and completed more games on the Xbox One than PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 games I own combined.
Right.
That is where I want to play my games.
Right. That's your platform of choice for this generation.
Yep.
But to have that and then not have anything that, I mean, the 3 games that I played for on a PlayStation 4 this year could have easily have been played on a different console.
Right.
Easy.
Right. And lastly, you're the CEO of Sony. What are you gonna do?
Figure out what I want to do. Do I want to push VR? Do I want to push 4K? What exactly is my goal?
What's the roadmap?
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what they have to do. Spoilers for predictions episode in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah. They have to set forth what they actually care about, because right decision or wrong decision, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Microsoft said, we are going to produce the most powerful console available, and
we're going to dump the Kinect. We're going to dump all this other stuff. We're going to focus on the console. We're going to focus on the hardware. And I think that served them well for the X. I almost call it Scorpio.
Did. Well, then you look at Sony, we're going to do VR and then not talk about it after 2 months. We're going to do handheld. And what's our console, our handheld console called again?
It seems a lot like someone asked them, like, how's VR going? And they go, wait, we did, VR, yeah, it's probably fine. It's good. Yeah, sure, it's fine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think if I was the CEO of Sony, I was like, look, what we would have to do is we need to be the ones that define the industry standard.
Right.
Everything's at 1080p at 60 frames. Every game from this point on comes out at that.
Right. Here's our minimum spec.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think Moon, you have a good call. We're sort of like, the 2017 has been incredibly kind to Sony, but
it's not their own doing. That's the biggest shell shock of the whole thing. It's not their choice. The only thing that they can really the only thing they can really take credit for is Horizon, and that's just because it's one of their studios.
Sure. Well, I think for me, 2018 is theirs to lose, because Microsoft can very quickly spend a lot of money on a lot of stuff, and they don't care how much they lose. Microsoft has never cared about that. And I think Sony, the way they win 2018 is by consistency. And if they can come out and they can just be consistent in updates and VR support and just games that are coming out that are top tier, they can do really well in 2018 again. But if they pull a Sony like they always do and they rest on their laurels, the PS4 is going to be in trouble.
Well, you've already seen a little bit of them pulling a Sony with the cross-platform talk, where the Rocket League developers and Minecraft developers and a bunch of people are saying, PC to Xbox, we've got this organized, this is fantastic, it works seamlessly. Yep. We want to do it with PS4 too, but Sony's not playing ball with us, they just don't want it to happen. And then when asked about this, Sony's like, well, number one, why would we do it? It's like, because it's customer satisfaction. You're garnering goodwill by allowing it to happen.
I think you're giving the wrong example, though. Xbox to Switch works. That's how far behind Sony is. Nintendo beat you online. That's how you know you're in the dark ages. Get it together. No one cares about it anymore. No one cares about your excuses anymore. Just get it together.
Mm-hmm. It's the old ego showing. It's the old, you will want to have two jobs to buy this console ego.
Well, we're literally talking about it in chat right now. People are trying to figure out what platforms people are playing Monster Hunter World on so they can play together. Nobody's playing on the same one in chat.
Mm-hmm.
Get it together. All right, well, that's our turn for CEO. Let's get to our final question here from Maximus Prime. What do each of you love and hate about the holiday season? I personally love just about everything, but I know a lot of people aren't fans, so I want to know your feelings on winter holiday season.
I'll go first. I hate it. I have always hated Christmas. I have always hated the holidays. I love the winter as a season, but I also suffer from seasonal affective disorder, so yay. Let's get depressed right before my favorite season of the year.
New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Still hasn't snowed. We had like a frosting, but that's it. But I love winter. Genuinely love winter. I hate the holidays. I can probably name in my 30-something years 5 holidays that are like 5 Christmas.
I've only
holidays.
had 5 good Christmases. Watch
Pretty
my
much.
movie.
I can name 5 of them, and I tell you what, 3 of them were the last 3 years spent it with Jess.
There you go. That's a pretty good sign.
Mm-hmm.
3/5 good Christmases. I like the season. I'm now that I'm removed from snow, I miss snow a little bit. But then as soon as you get back in snow, you're like, yeah, this kind of sucks. I don't mind the holiday. I'm not like the biggest Christmas guy, but I'm not a Scrooge. I don't like the music. Just tone it down with the music.
There are 3 good Christmas songs. That's it. Also,
November 1st is not when Christmas songs start, please. I know that I'm like, get off my lawn at this point, but like, can we... we have very few holidays about eating, which I love. Let's still have Thanksgiving. I love eating. Mm-hmm. Turkey is delicious.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of holiday season at all.
Jimbo Jangle says, big Arbor Day fan here. Hey man, we need those trees.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know, for personal reasons for me. Like it's since 2005, this time of the year sucks.
Also, I'm not a big Halloween fan either. Like even as a kid, it was sort of like I can dress up, that's fine. I don't
Halloween
really...
can go suck it. Yeah, all right. So from so from the leaves start changing colors because it stinks for me because I like playing stuff outside.
Right.
Like I like golf. I like doing things
outside. You're on
outside.
borrowed time at that point.
Right. This time of the year comes around and I am holed up going stir crazy.
The only thing I really like
finding as much stuff in the world to distract me.
Yeah. The only thing I like about Christmas nowadays is giving presents.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really need to get anything. I want to give people like dumb, small, fun presents. That's really it.
Yeah, no, I like the gift giving aspect of it, but it's
the rest of it.
I mean, like I gotta be a nightmare to shop for, because if I want something, I'm just gonna go get it.
100% you are. I can say that.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like holidays in general really aren't our bag. Some people really love the holidays. My wife really loves Christmas, and we are fully decorated already. And I can't muster up the same. I certainly don't hold any grudges against people that love the holidays or anything. Like, I'm old enough to realize that people can love their own stuff for their own reasons, but I just
the only decoration I'll put up is I'll ironically put up an aluminum pole.
There you go.
For Festivus. That's it.
And you got to air out grievances.
And then air my grievances to the dog, because there's no one else here to listen to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping that question would be a bit of a sunnier exit for this episode.
No. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I mean,
Hey, chat, come up with something really quick for us, please, chat.
I'm tired and I'm hungry, so no, not really.
I feel horrible.
I do want to talk about, though, don't forget to get your voting in for our community chosen game of the year. We'll talk about that during our top 10 episode. The races,
which is next week. Next week.
Is next week. Also, as a reminder, we do have, as the 3/3 TVGP, we do take 2 weeks off at the end of the year if you're a new listener. Don't worry, you will have your top 10 and your predictions episode that'll come out. There'll be a live-to-tape video that will come out. We won't live stream during those 2 weeks, though. It's like the 2 weeks we get off a year. I am so ready for it because I'm really burnt out. This is about the time where I'm like, hey, are we on a break yet? All right.
You hit the funk.
Yeah, I'm just 100% in it. But yeah, there won't be any live streams. There won't be any Patreon rewards, patreon.com/E1M1. We go dark for about 2 weeks, even though we still give you guys a bunch of content. It's just pre-recorded. But, we're not going to make it to the rest of the games this year anyway, so let's just seal up the top 10.
Yep. I don't know, well, maybe we can do some more live streaming, games-wise.
Yeah, there you go.
True.
All right, if you want to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv, email us tvgp@fans@gmail.com, tweet us at tvgp, join our Discord server, that link and all the other links on the right-hand side of the page.
And come join us for our game nights. Monday night, 10 p.m. EST, always on the Xbox One. Tried and true, always around playing something. Find us for our golf club tournaments. Those are probably going up 2 a week now. I think I got it cinched down once every 4 days. The place goes crazy.
Nice.
Rocket League, PlayStation 4, I think on Wednesdays. Thursday, Steam game night, because that's still a thing we're plugging.
Yep.
And... ironically,
Ever
at this
the
point,
optimist.
Ever the optimist. Well, I got a Vive headset coming and probably buying a new PC. So
actually, I'm building a new PC right now. So
this might be able to hop back on here. I got to do some rearranging in this room.
Yeah.
So
VR friendly.
Yeah, I got to get this thing out of the middle of the room, and then this will be just maybe shelve up these. I'll do something.
Yeah.
Stuff. But yeah, join us for the week. I mean, just join a party, send an invite, send a question. I probably get to PlayStation questions probably about a month late by the time I sign in and out of that thing.
That's about me on Xbox One. Whenever the app gets updated, I'm like, oh right, I have messages. Sorry.
Yeah, same thing. Like, I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm sorry if I haven't responded. But
no malice.
No, none at all. But or be persistent. Just hang out. We'll have fun.
This month's Game Club game is Inside, by the makers of Limbo. It's real good. I enjoyed it. You should try it. We're going to talk about it in 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Something like that. This year is going fast. Don't forget to watch us, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network, that video game podcast on YouTube. Become a patron, patreon.com/E1M1. Get cool behind-the-scenes stuff. You can sign up for Patreon now, and you can hang out with me, and we'll chat while I edit stuff tonight. this very night, if you're watching live. If you're not, then
depending on what
next
time.
week, I guess. Yeah. And that's our episode. We'll see you all next week.
Laters.
See ya.
All right, Moon here. Hit me with them hot titles.
I got 4. Literally, I only got 4.
I only have 4, but they're real good.
Pierre Army reference. I like it. Gets to Stabbing. Barrel Skeleton and 3/5 Good Christmases.
Oh, that's a good one. I have Wynette. Let's do it on Insane. The Rockworm is Blue. Plot Twist, which is the one I'm voting for, and Deliciously Stubborn.
What was Plot Twist?
In Need for Speed Payback, there's a quote-unquote plot twist.
Yeah.
I like plot twists.
Yeah. Anything you feel strongly about, Nubs?
Nah, not really.
All right, plot twist it is.
Guess what didn't come out? Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
I'm so mad. Like I was.
He forgot about it already. Oh no.
No. So I'm going through my Amazon because I saw like that FedEx package. Just like, what could be coming? Because that thing's supposed to be here.
Wireless headset.
I'm like, oh wait, that's coming out. I looked at the thing. I was like, son of a.
3 months.
I think I called someone.
3 months, Jerry.
I think I called one of my coworkers, Tom, just to complain about it. Like I was like, you
gotta be kidding.
And I did, and I complained later at night playing Horde mode for like an hour.
You can complain for the next 3 months until it's out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
You just gotta get here. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 528 for December 4th, 2017. Quote-unquote, plot twist.
I want my headset.
It's really easily to see.
Alright, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Moon Pyramina says she wants to talk about Monster Hunter World with someone, so join her in Discord.
Yep, I'm on the way there now. I shall do it while I do chores.
Alright, we'll see everyone next week.
Coming out for?
Bye.